Hello, welcome to the first episode of Get Ready with Me. Today we're going to do a half up, half down curly style. This is a 22-inch deep wave unit from the Laceroom collection. It's been on for about 2 to 3 weeks, laid with only the best ghost glue. Literally, it's a really good hold. It's a really great hold, and I'm really in love with the results of this glue. So first, what I'm going to do is detangle this hair. It really doesn't take long because of the amazing quality of the curly hair. So you just start from the tip all the way up to the root. But sometimes you don't really need it. Like, this unit really isn't that tangly. Then what I like to do, I like to take my little scrunchie. I think it's so adorable. And I like to section my hair in 2 sections. So basically what I like to do, I like to section my hair in 2 sections because it gets a little messy. Good morning, Rage. Hey, girl, what's good? Yep, so I like to section it into 2 sections. Then I like to go back and detangle from the tip to the root just to get that. I want it to be very flat. I want a very flat style. Hi, LC and I want it to be very flat. I also sewed it in the back so I can put it up, but today I'm not doing that. Spray bottle. This is an essential for curly hair. I'm in a mirror, so I'm gonna just face this way. A couple of sprays. I got my best friend in the entire universe, edge brush. And it comes with like a comb on the end, which I think is super cute, and it's pink. What I like to do, I like to go in like behind where I put my baby hairs just to get that smooth and natural look. Personally, I just like that. And this is just water because I don't really like to put much product in my curly hairs unless it's mousse or something like that. So you don't really have to do too much combing because it'll already be sleek. I think the hair melts in really nicely. I got my one little scrunchie. I'm looking in the mirror because I just want everything to be perfect. I got like the sides out just a little bit. I didn't want like a full half up, half down, but just a little give and take on the sides. And it's crooked, but you know what? I'm going to finesse it because that's what we do. And plus, when it's curly, you don't really have to worry about having like a super straight ponytail. So then it just looks kind of like awkward. This is what you're going to have. Right? This is what you're going to have. You're going to have a cute little pony like so. Simple. Usually what I like to do, I take out the back. I've already detangled, so I'll just take some spritz of water. How are you today, Rage? How are you? How's your morning going? Woo! Spraying myself in the face. I get so messy with the water. Like, I just be spraying everything and, like, anywhere. So you kind of just want to spray. Let me face this way. You just want to spray. You don't want it soaking wet, but you want it at least easily manageable. So you can manipulate it. Personally, I don't like to detail when more prone to snap. We don't want that. So you kind of just spray it. Then I'm going to do my nails. Yes, girl. What color? What color are your nails? I like to just finger comb. You gotta send me a picture. I like them orange nails you did. They were very pretty. But yeah, you kind of just finger comb the back. I think I pulled my ponytail a little too tight. That happens. That happens, but it's okay. Just get a scarf. Then I'm gonna take the front. I don't like my front too wet. I actually like the puffy look. So I'm gonna just spray it. How much time I got? Like 20 minutes left to get ready. And you know I did this video like twice. Personally, I don't like the wet look. It's not my cup of tea. But if you kind of just like finger comb the top half of your pony, scrunch it, a little scrunch, and I kind of like it in my face a little bit. It gives me that like messy. I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna let my brush. Okay, I know that's right. Let that creativity just do its thing. But yeah, this side's still a little bit dry. Like you want it to be at a good consistency, just so that when it dries, the curls can dry in that same state. So yeah, this is just water, 2 scrunchies, white tooth comb, I'll put my lace glue. And that's all I use for this style. Thank you so much, Rage. Have a blessed day. Hello.
How y'all feeling today? Yo, I'm excited about today's show. Talented woman in the building, business owner, making a lot of moves. You know what I'm saying? You just saw the tutorial right there. She helping the ladies get it together. I'm very excited about the show. Yo, so without any further ado, let's bring it to the stage. We got Niambi. How you feeling? What's going on?
Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday, yo. So, yo, how you feeling today?
I feel amazing. I'm so happy this week is like over. The sun was out today in Boston, so I feel great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. For the people that don't know, you do a lot of things. Can you let them know what all you do?
So I am a multifaceted entrepreneur. I am a singer. I'm a hairstylist. I was a security officer, and I'm also applying to law school later on this year. So I have some things that I'm working on.
All right, so that's dope. Let's take it back to the beginning. So you from Boston, right?
Yes, I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. Oh
Wow.
my God. I was born and raised here. Like Boston is just full of so many entrepreneurs. Like there's really a huge talent crowd here. And it really starts when we are little. Like when we're little, we're really taught, to hustle. Like I
Right.
feel like this is like the hustle city. So I
Wow.
love where I'm from, and I always rep.
I feel you on that. So yeah, let's take it back to the early days. So you growing up in Boston. Tell me what that was like.
What that was like, let's see. Well, I'm an only child,
Okay.
so I had to keep, a great crowd of friends around me. Spent a lot of time with my family, so I'm a family girl.
Okay.
Um, yeah, school was great. I was cheer captain in high school, so that was awesome.
Right.
So I've dipped in different, pots.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So let's talk about the writing. When did you first start writing?
So I first started writing when I was 13 years old. Again, I'm an only child, so I spend a lot of time, by myself in my bubble. But with that, I like to stay focused and write a lot. Also, my mom, she sang. So I grew up listening to just a bunch of Keisha Cole, a bunch of En Vogue, Eve. So that really inspired me to start writing myself.
Okay. Okay. So now that you're writing, you start writing your songs. When did you first do your first performance of your songs?
My first performance, I actually did it in front of my family,
Oh, really?
because they are my worst critics.
Right.
They are my worst critics, so I had to do it in front of them and just get the honest truth.
Okay. Okay. So you do it in front of your family now. You're writing. When
Yeah.
did you know this was something that you wanted to do?
Well, my name actually means melody in Swahili. So
Wow.
once I found that out, I said, you know what? Maybe I should like dive into this venture.
Right.
But once I just put my writings or my lyrics on a hook, and when it just matched up, it was magic from there. It was
Oh,
magic.
wow. So that's dope right there, yo. So you've been writing now, you're putting the hooks together, you're doing your songs and stuff like that. Have you released any projects? If people wanted to hear your music, where could they find it?
I'm actually working on a project that should be released in July by my birthday called Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. This is
Wow.
my first project, so I do have something special, but
Okay.
it's up to the host.
All right. Yeah, we could definitely jump into it. We could talk about the album. We can play the song now, and then after that, we'll talk about the album and what inspired this.
Sounds great. So
All
this
right.
record is called Genie, and basically what inspired me to write this record, I feel like young women nowadays, we have
Right.
the voice, the clarity, the power to say yes to what we want, and we can be our own genie. We can make our own wishes come true. Why not? We're
Wow.
powerful. So, I mean, we have a woman vice president,
Right.
but this is Genie.
All right. Dope. Let's get into it.
Up in my head, boy, you are up in my bed. Yeah, you know I try to play you. Flip the script instead, or you flip the peg and left. Running from the feds, all you do is playing games. Got our love instead, all you do is time and says. Pack up exit left, boy, you know what I want. Yeah, you know it's next thing. You think it's all cool. And you don't gotta flex. I'm doing what I doing what I do. Said I'm shitting on my ex. Write a couple messages, but I don't press send. Hitting on the next. If I know it don't make sense on why you can't connect with all of the shots you send. Cause I don't check my message. And
Yeah.
that is Genie.
Yeah, I'm feeling that right there, yo. So
Yay!
let's talk about the process. Like, what was going through your mind when you heard the beat, and what inspired that track right there?
Oh my goodness. So first I gotta give out my credits. This is a remix of Tory Lane's Temperature Rising. And
Right.
a crazy story is I actually wrote this song on November 25th, 2019. And it's actually like the date sitting here in my phone.
Right.
So I just, I started writing this song on campus, by the way. So I did have a few other things that was going on. So I took a break from it.
Right.
I think summer of 2020, Tory Lanez released this song, and
Wow.
it just, oh my goodness, it just hit different. And I said, you know what? I have to finish this project.
Wow. Wow. So okay, so tell me the moment that you heard the Tory Lanez. What's going through your head?
Oh my gosh, I was like, if only. If only. I think the song is beautiful, by the way. I think the
Right.
song is beautiful. This just the way that we both flow on this song. I wouldn't be surprised if I see me featured on his next.
Wow. Yeah, that would be dope right there. You never know. That's the world, the way things happen right now. So now you got that song out, Genie.
Yes.
Tell us about the project. How many songs can the people expect?
People can expect 5 songs.
5 songs. Okay. So
Yes.
what's the direction of the project?
So the direction is basically just like the chorus in Genie. Like I'm shitting on my ex, I'm shitting on 2020, I'm shitting on my past. It's
Right.
just elevations. I really wanted to evoke the 4 classes of a diamond in this project because it's just like the pressure that you go through, it just basically creates like these different layers to you, and it's something that pressure just makes it's what makes you distinct as a human being. And
Wow.
once you kind of tap into like that new dimension of yourself, you
Right.
gain like this new clarity, and you see the world in like a different life colored lens, I like to call it.
Right.
So that's basically where I'm headed towards in this project,
Oh, wow.
honestly.
I'm definitely excited about that, yo. So who are some of the producers on the project?
Producers,
Right.
well,
Okay, okay. All right. Well, yo, it's exclusive, yo. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep them waiting right there for that. So definitely, yo, I'm excited about the project. You said it
oh
drops
my.
in July.
Yes, July. My birthday's July 12th, so definitely within that time frame.
Okay.
Get lit. It's an icy summer.
Yeah, it's gonna be all right this summer. Then I'm all with that, yo. So let's talk about it. All right, what's your process like when you're writing? Is it like you have the idea in your mind first, or do you hear the beat, then it inspires it? What's your process?
So I'm weird. My process is so weird. I can't freestyle rap, but I can
Right.
freestyle sing. It's so
Wow.
strange. So if I hear a beat, I just, start singing whatever comes to my mind, whatever melodies come to my mind. Then I focus on the lyrics after I,
Right.
get more of like a solid foundation down on paper. Then I can go back in and refine things to make them more just suitable and relatable.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense right there. So a lot of singers, they don't know about finding the melody and structuring a song. So say like if I wanted to start singing, what advice would you give me when it comes to songwriting?
The advice I would give you, definitely try not to do too much. You don't have to put so many words into a sentence because, you know, oh my God, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and
Right.
I would just say don't think about it too hard, basically. Just don't think about it too hard. Think about things you've been through, think about the places where you want to go, and
Right.
be the middleman in between that and find where that fits.
Yeah, that's dope right there, yo. And I'm definitely feeling it. So, like you said, it's like you're done with the past, you're stepping into the future, you're embracing your future.
Yes.
Being a female artist in the game, what are some things you had to face that you overcame?
Definitely rejection. I've had people say you're gonna fail. I've had people say, you're worthless, nothing, you're not gonna be anything. So just not even as, a female artist, but as a female in general, just block that out of your mind and always pray. Always pray on every situation you're going through because sometimes as females we can be our worst critic and we think we have the answer to everything, but God does. So
God definitely does. That's real right there. So let me ask you, you said God, how much of that inspiration comes out of your music?
definitely, it comes out in the ways that he's changed my life.
Right.
So I think I should dive into more like gospel and speaking about him. Actually, one of my inspirations is Corinne Hawthorne. She's
Wow.
one of my favorite R&B gospel female artists, and she's amazing. So just listening to her is just so inspiring while I'm writing this next project. And yeah, I basically just include him in how he's just transforming things in my life.
Yeah, that's answer like a veteran right there. So let me ask you, okay, being a writer, who are some writers that you admire?
Keisha Cole.
Keisha
Oh
Cole.
my goodness, Keisha Cole. It's just, see, I'm a Cancer, I'm a lover girl, and she's just
Wow.
so heartfelt. And I love the way she expresses herself
Right.
in her songs. Like she can make you feel exactly the way that she feels. Even since I was a little girl, I can still listen to Keisha Cole's old albums, and it still affects me the same way.
Wow. That's powerful right there. Okay, so Keisha Cole, is there any other writers that you admire?
Let's see, Keisha Cole. Oh my God, I just listened. Chris Brown is a great
Chris Brown?
writer.
Wow.
He's definitely, I wouldn't say underrated, but I feel like he's overlooked. Like he has a lot of great features out there
Right.
that are just so well composed. So I definitely look up to Chris.
Chris Brown and Keisha Cole. That's definitely good goals to have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's definitely good goals to have. So you're working on the project, you got 5 songs. How excited are you and how you gonna roll out the project?
I'm extremely excited because a few people may know I've been working on this for a while, and it's
Right,
just been a lot of different like hiccups, like school. I'm a full-time student, so
right.
there's just been some things that, I just really had to allocate that time to work on it. So I'm super excited about that. Everything's virtual at the moment, so I plan
Right,
on having like a big Zoom party, like a big Zoom release party. I think that's super cute. And I
right.
think people will enjoy it as well.
That's dope right there. And it's different. So we're talking about everybody being home and everything is being virtual now. How has the pandemic affected the way you do things?
Oh my gosh, it's insane because I remember, eh, like taking my biology course on campus, and we were like tracking the results and tracking, how many cases there were. And I
Right.
remember my biology teacher saying, "Okay, see you guys after spring break." And it was just like, nope, not after
And
spring break. I okay, this pandemic has really turned me into a hustler. Like,
right.
I worked throughout the entire pandemic. I was security officer for 4 years, and
Right.
just being out and not feeling safe, it wasn't okay with me. But sometimes you have to do what you have to do. And thankfully, I didn't lose any family members or friends. So if anyone lost any loved ones, my heart really goes out to you. It's been a really that 2020 vision is,
Right.
you know.
Right. Right. And we barely made it through. We're in 2021.
Yes.
How is 2021 starting off for you?
2021 is amazing. I got on this app called Clubhouse,
Right.
met a lot of amazing, talented people. So just getting a chance to meet different people, and not have to like travel or like go
Definitely.
outside.
Right.
It's
Right.
great. 2020 has been phenomenal.
Yeah, that makes sense right there. Speaking of Clubhouse, a lot of good networking there. For people that may not know, if you want to tell them a little quick thing about it and maybe even a testament of how it helped you, you can tell them about the app right now.
So for everyone who doesn't know, Clubhouse is basically like the new outside. Um, you basically get it's kind of like a what is that thing called? It's basically like a huge conference call, a
Right.
huge audio conference call where you get to just add value, talk to people that you've never met, just kind of listen in on advice. Like I go in and I listen to these engagement groups where they talk about like marketing or just things that can help me with my business. And
Right.
I've met a phenomenal group of ladies called the Boss Experience. And I actually just came from Atlanta like a couple weeks ago. We did a vendor pop-up shop as well as a red carpet event. It was just amazing. And I met these women through Clubhouse. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
Clubhouse is real, guys. Clubhouse is real.
Right. All right. Yeah. So you're in Atlanta, you're popping it off. Tell me about the party. Tell me about the pop up.
It was amazing. I was surrounded by a plethora of talent. They had clothes vendors, they had edible vendors,
Wow.
mask vendors. They had just so many vendors, and it was just great to be around Black men and women who really care about, their goals in their future and just putting our businesses out there because we all start small. So
Right.
I just think if we all collectively, just as young Black entrepreneurs, just support each other and then we bring that energy back to our own states,
Right.
we can just make our own state stronger, come together as, Black
Right.
50 states
Right.
and make it happen, make this Black Wall Street happen.
Yeah, I was just about to speak about that, the Black Wall Street, right there. Yo, that stuff you don't learn in school.
Yeah.
So tell people that may be wondering, how important is that, and what's the concept?
Woo-hoo! Black Wall Street people is so important. Okay. One, there's a lot of gentrification happening in this country, especially in Boston. A
Right.
lot of gentrification. And it's now we have to change the paradigm of the system. You understand?
Right.
So, instead of being so bothered about other people coming into our societies, why don't we take charge of their cost of living? Why don't we fill our neighborhoods with Black food, Black supermarkets, Black clothing stores? That's
Right.
the only way, that we can just make this happen if we just all support each other and do it collectively and give them no choice but to survive and
Right.
rely on us. That's how I think about it.
Right. Now that makes sense right there, and that's definitely the key and the goal.
Yeah.
So okay, all right. So let's talk about you're in school, you're an artist. Not only are you in school and you're an artist, you're a business owner. And then you do branding and you do voiceover. So you do a lot of things.
Yes.
How do you find time and the balance to keep everything going and keep everything consistent?
Oh my goodness. Sometimes I just have to shut my phone off. Like, soon as I wake up, I just have to shut my phone off. I pull out my Bible, and that's my woosah time to just collectively bring it all together and just ask God to make just to make sure these things that I'm working on don't overlap,
Right.
just to find room for all of them. So definitely taking that space and taking the time to just be be with me, and
Right.
just be centered.
Okay.
really
So
helped.
for those that may not be familiar with you, can you let them know about you and what type of person you are, for the people that's watching?
Hey guys, so basically, yeah, I'm a voiceover actress. I'm also the CE owner of the Laceroom LLC, as well as a criminal justice and business student at UMass Dartmouth. So it's just, I'm the type of person where I like to do a little bit of everything, you know, and just finding that space in between them really helps me make each, thing I'm working on just so much stronger. So
Right.
that's the kind of person I am. I'm just spontaneous. I love trying new things. The voiceover work is I actually started that this year. So
Wow.
that's yes, that's something new that I started.
Right.
So,
How's it working out for you? How do you like that? Do you enjoy it?
I enjoy it so much because as a small business owner and starting during and actually at the beginning of the pandemic, I noticed that, it's kind of hard to get your business out there because we're
Right.
all going through so many things. So just being able to help somebody else get their business to the next to Facebook, get their business to Clubhouse, put it on Instagram, or just making voice ads for them to use
Right.
the future. It's amazing to help somebody else because it's like it takes a lot, to put yourself out there in a heavily saturated market, and we all deserve our businesses to flourish.
That makes sense right there, and that's powerful right there. So let's talk about school now. So you're studying the criminal justice and business. All right, let's talk about that journey a little bit. We got you into that.
So, in high school, I did this class called Constitutional Literacy,
Right.
where it was actually my principal, she taught it. They had some law students come over from Suffolk University and teach us just, moot court techniques, how to speak in court, and just law cases.
Wow.
And oh my gosh, there was like this competition. We had a competition in class, and the crazy part is that when it was my turn, I got so nervous. I was so nervous in front of my class.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a moot court competition. So it was me and about four other ladies. We moved on to the next round to Suffolk University, where we
Wow.
competed against different schools in Massachusetts, which was pretty cool. And at the time, it was a hobby. Like I just like talking. I
Right.
like talking.
I mean,
So
it's normal. All right.
it was a hobby at that time, and my friends and I think, yeah, it was me and one other lady. We both got the chance to go to Washington, D.C. And
Wow.
yeah, this was the final round, and it was held at the American University of Law in D.C. And I was 16 at the time. So my mom came down, like my grandfather, all my family came down and just watched me do this moot court and just represent a
Right.
case, in a courtroom. And from there, I said, yeah, I think this is what I should do, with my life. Like
Right.
in front of a judge, you don't feel for some weird reason, I don't feel that pressure, you know.
Wow. Wow. So have you always been that way? It's like kind of like to stand up for what you believe, you know what I'm saying? To do the right thing. You always been that way?
I definitely has always just been, that solid individual. You
Right.
know, people shoot it just it bounces off now. It bounces off now. But
Right.
it definitely takes some time, to get that way. You definitely gotta go through some shit.
Right. Right.
To
Right. Right.
be resilient.
Right.
But yeah, I love it though.
Okay. So that makes sense right there. So now you're 16, you go to the Supreme Court. You decide this is what I want to do. What happens next?
So literally, I graduate high school. Right out of high school, I got into UMass Dartmouth, and I said, "Yeah, this is what I want to do." Not only because I love talking, but I like to defend people. Some people are really soft spoken, and it's not even about that, but there's a lot of people in this world who deserve that representation, who deserve to have a spokesperson. There's a
Right.
lot of men and women out here who are getting criminalized for weed. It's
Right.
just something not right about that. So basically, when I got to college, it once I just put it on my mind and I stuck there. I stuck there with the criminal justice.
Wow. Yeah, that's yeah. And it's definitely needed right there. When you talk about the justice system, what are some things that you see from where you stand that need change?
Some things that a lot of things need change, like especially the racism in this country, and it's baby steps at the moment, and it's gonna take a long time for that to change.
Right,
But definitely the racism in this country, like the massage parlor that just got shot up in Atlanta.
right,
You know, I'm like, you're shooting up a massage parlor. You don't want to get a massage. You could just get a massage and go about your day. Like it's
right. We good.
you don't have to attack another race.
Right,
And it's just like, what would you do without Asians? What would you do without Spanish, Hispanic, Black people?
right,
Nothing.
right. Yeah,
It's the truth.
yeah. Definitely needs change, and that's real in the society we living in today. So now you're in the law. You're doing the singing. You get into the voiceovers. Let's talk about the company. Let's talk about hair, the lace rooms. So when did you start your journey with being a hairstylist?
So I started my journey in 2018. I one day said, I think I want to do hair. I think
Wow.
I just want to do hair. So I had like my homegirl come over. There's always like frat parties and things going on. And she's like, can you curl my hair? And I said, girl, I got you. I can curl your hair. So
Right.
after that, I don't even know what it was. I just always loved feeling pretty. I always love having my hair done. It's just it's to me, it's like self-care.
Right.
It's like self-care. When I was 14, actually, I was in this group called Diamond Girls. And
Wow.
yeah, it was just a group of young ladies, and we would curate this box. It was called a diamond box, where we filled it with like coconut oils and like hair scrunchies and sold that. So
Wow.
basically what a few of my friends did, we went down to like the malls. We would host like interviews, walk around and like interview people on the train and say, oh, what
Right.
does being a diamond mean to you? So
Right.
that was kind of like my first look into just the beauty industry as a whole. But definitely once I got into school, I got to apply that onto my friends.
Right. Wow. Okay. So now, so it starts out, you get the idea, I want to get into hair. So now you start doing it. What
Yes.
happens next? So now you got your homegirls, you're hooking them up. How did it grow from there? Let's talk about what happened next.
Okay, so in April, I decided to make a hair oil. And believe it or
Right.
not, I started my company with $50.
Wow.
$50. So if you want to learn how to start a company with $50, you can definitely reach out to me. But I started my company with $50. I started making hair oils because wearing wigs, it's a lot of tension like on your temples and your edges.
Right.
And I needed something at the time. I was working super stressed out. It's COVID. I started making hair oils, pushing that. And then, everything I would make, I would just, reinvest into something bigger. I went from hair oil to edge control. This
Right.
is the hair oil, by the way, to edge control. And with that, I made it into a wig glue because I wear wigs all the time. And I thought,
Right.
what would be better than having my own wig glue that I can just have all the time? Because wig glue is very expensive nowadays.
It is.
And I've gone through so much trial and error with hair products. So I figured to just sample. Yeah, I spent a lot of time sampling, reaching out to vendors, just to get things together. And
Wow.
basically, I took all of these products and turned that into a wig and extension, business. And with
Right.
that, in August, I applied for my LLC and I got approved. I said, God, I didn't say, God said, this is what you're going to be doing.
Wow.
This is what you're going to be doing.
Yeah. And that's real right there. So not only are you doing it, you're making your own products.
Yes, the hair oil
Right.
I make.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's talk about the hair oil for people that might be watching or may watch because it'll be playing. So if they see it and they want to get it, how can they buy the hair oil? And tell them a little bit about
So this hair oil is actually made of castor oil, grapeseed oil, avocado oil, sweet almond oil, and especially sativa hemp oil. So yes, there is sativa hemp seed oil in here. No THC, it's just all CBD.
it.
And
Right.
basically, this oil is just enriched with like omega fatty acids and a lot of vitamins that can really grow your hair. You know, if you're someone who's been struggling with hair growth, and this oil can be found on the laceroom.org. I also sell this in store. So if
Wow.
you just send me a message through my website and you want to just pick this up, smell it, sample it, we can do that as well. But
Wow.
this is my baby right here. This is what started it all, guys.
It started from that right there. So yo, so what gave you the idea? Or you just sitting there like, yo, I'm gonna make some more. I know you say you needed it and going through trial and error, but it was like, how did that happen? How did God give it to you? Like, yo, this is all.
Oh,
Right.
man, I don't even know what it was. I just thought I needed to do something to fix my problem. It was
Right.
crazy because I remember it was my mom. We were sitting in the living room and she was like, "Well, I think I want to start making like face cream." I'm like, "Well, what are you gonna put in it?" So she
Right.
started like, looking at ingredients, researching things, and I sat and said, why don't I make some hair oil? Why don't I do some research on, how these different vitamins, minerals, and fatty acids affect, hair follicles and put it together into something that I can use, not only use for myself, but help other people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's smart right there. So now you do your hair oil. What was the next one? It was the edge
Edge
control.
control, extreme
Right.
edge control,
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
which smells like
Everybody want their edges laid nowadays.
everybody wants their edges laid.
Everybody. Let's
Which
talk about that.
smell
Let's
good.
talk about for the guys. It's the older guys that may not understand what you mean. You want to be laid. Let's break down what it means to lay the edges down. 'Cause a lot, and then you got to tell them the right way because a lot of people they putting edges down, but they ain't laying it the right way.
Right? It ain't laid the right way.
They ain't laying it the right way. So break it down for them, yo. Let them know what having your edges laid means, and let's talk about the right and the wrong way to lay the edges.
Okay, having your edges laid basically means in place. Like if the sun's shining, your edges, the products that you have in your hair won't melt. If you're going out that night, the product in your hair won't move. You know, 8 hours later, your hair looks exactly the same. That's laid. That's literally laid. Like
Wow.
it's not going anywhere. It
Eight
doesn't wake
hours. 8 hours later.
up. It does not wake up.
So let me ask you. So for guys thinning, can he lay his waves down, or that's something totally different?
Actually, you can lay this down in your waves. I mean, castor oil, jojoba oil.
Right.
Yeah, and then it can grow it too. Definitely can maintain your hair health.
Wow. So all right, working in the hair industry. So you're doing a lot of research.
Yeah.
So just the same way you do a lot of consultations. Okay, so you got the edge control,
Right.
and then you got the glue.
Yes.
Let's talk about the glue. How did we get into glue?
Oh my gosh. The reason why my edges were thinning early 2020
Right.
was because of the glue I was using. It was just too harsh for my skin, and my skin's super sensitive. So
Right.
I thought, what would be a great alternative, to just improve the health of my hair overall. And this glue came into my life, and it took so much research just to
Wow.
find, like the right product, the right companies that can really help me, not just me, but other people. And
Right.
my favorite thing though about this glue is that you can wear it on vacation. You can wear it at the spa. You can wear it at work.
Wow.
And your hair won't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I love that. Like
Wow.
wig glue, I feel like anyone who wears wigs definitely has this in their pantry. Definitely
Right.
has this in their pantry because I wanna maintain my look. I don't want my wig to go anywhere.
Yeah. I feel you on that. So now you got the products. Do you make the units as well?
I do not make the units. I actually have someone do that for me.
You make
And
someone.
my units are actually machine made, double stitched,
Right.
double wefted. And yeah, I like I actually prefer the machine better because you
Right.
get like a better stitch inside the cap. And
Wow.
also my units last 2+ years. So
Right.
having that, that strong mechanic arm, really helps the wig maintain its
Wow.
luster.
Wow. Okay, so let's. All right, I'm a guy, so I'm pretty sure I don't know anything about wigs.
Right?
Let's talk about the differences of wigs and let's talk about, like you said, the sturdiness. What's the importance in that?
So basically, oh my God, we can go on for days, Zion.
Give us a
So
crash course, a quick crash.
the importance of having just a sturdy wig, like when you brush your hair, if you finger comb through your hair, you don't want to get any shedding. You don't want to
Right.
get any shedding. You don't want to have, your hair fall out, because then you kind of find yourself buying wigs over and over and over again.
Right.
So wigs are actually, it's an investment. It's really an investment. You find yourself buying the same wigs over and over and over again and wasting a lot of money when you can just get one great quality wig. And the important thing about sturdiness is not just sturdiness, like even the knots that are tied into the lace, you want
Right.
them to be super tight. You want your wig to be constructed properly, again, so you don't have that fallout. You can
Wow.
style your wigs in half up, half down styles. Like this is a deep wave unit, but I want curled it. So
Right.
you want a wig that's, versatile too.
Okay. So you could do both. You get the best of both worlds. So for
Exactly.
somebody that's trying to get into it, what's the price range for the good wigs?
For the good wigs, well, my wigs start at $250.
Right.
I know wigs that are up at like the $800, $1,000 range.
Right.
It's strictly because it's just straight from the source.
Right.
It's straight from the source. But personally, for me, I'm not gonna charge anyone $800 for a wig. I just feel like that's just too much.
Right.
Like you
Right.
want that virgin human hair that can last you a very long time. And the price range, I've actually seen a lot of wigs that are like $20. They actually have some at like Kiki's Beauty Supply store, where
Oh
just
wow.
like some good, just like throw on and off like a hat type of
Right.
wig, just cute for a night. So yeah, they can start at like $20 all the way up to like a band. Easy.
Wow. Okay. So let's talk about the gooder ones. So how long do they normally last? How long does it? Well, I don't even want to call them a gooder one. They're units.
Right.
Let's, all right. How long does a unit normally last?
So this unit lasts 2+ years. So a
Wow.
well constructed unit, your unit don't have to be made with a machine, but a well constructed unit, that's just really, really sewn in there. You really want, you don't want your webs falling out of your wig. Please, please,
Don't do
please
it.
don't have me fall out, ladies. It's embarrassing. But yeah, a very well constructed virgin hair unit can last up to 2 years. I've had this for a year so far.
Wow. And that's dope right there. You
That's,
said
that's her
so,
thing.
and it does the things. And you can have them in all different types, right? You can have it
Yeah.
wavy,
Oh
have it
my
straight.
gosh. Straight, loose wave, deep wave, kinky curly. They have like ocean wave. They have so many different textures. And what I love is that now they're starting to make wigs that mimic, like natural hair, like for
Right.
black women. And I think that's really dope,
Wow. Right.
basically because we put a lot of stress and tension and manipulation in our hair, and just to have a wig that mimics our texture, we can just look exactly the same and not damage our hair. And when we take our wig off, our hair's long, it's healthy, and yeah,
Wow.
that's one of the importance of wearing a wig.
Right.
It's a great protective style. It's actually my preferred protective style.
All right, so let's talk about protective styles and damaging the hair. Getting it done too much and stuff can damage the hair, putting too much stress. So let's talk about protective styles and the importance of. So somebody may say, "Well, I never wore a wig." A female, explain to them the positives of wearing it and protecting your hair.
So the positives of wearing it, it really just again protects your hair from the heat. It protects your hair from constantly, rubbing up against different fabrics on your clothes that can lead to like split ends and breakage. And you really want to start with clean hair. You want to, of course, wash your hair, blow dry it, braid it. I like to braid my hair in like straight backs. And what that basically does, like say if you have your wig on for like 2 to 3 weeks, it basically controls the growth. So you always get new growth when you wear a wig. That's the plus of this protective style. And when you just braid your hair back and it's clean, and you do your scalp massages with your liquid gold,
Wow.
pop this baby on and you'll be okay. Definitely, if you are a constant wig wearer, give yourself a good week, 2 weeks to let your hair breathe. This is a protective style, but you want your natural hair to breathe underneath as well.
Okay. So you said every 2 weeks or every 2 to 3 weeks, you want to let it breathe?
Right, every 1 to 2. I let my hair breathe at least 1 to 2 weeks, but majority, because this is my brand. I wear wigs like all the time.
Right.
But I use that method, straight backs, keep my hair clean, oiled, massaged, and making sure that my hair is just washed.
Right. So okay. So you're starting a company in a growing industry. What has that journey been like? Getting Laceroom off the ground, and then dealing with the competition and competitors. How do you compete? How do you stay afloat in the game?
I don't really compete. Something I learned early on when starting my business is to delete the competitors out my mind. I mean, it's always good to see, what's going on in your market, which I think is great. Someone I'm really actually influenced by is Arrogant Tay. I know everyone knows Tay. He's just Tay Zion.
I
Yeah.
heard his name before.
He's just phenomenal. But as far as just getting my business off its feet, I kind of just eliminated that negative space and just did what I thought was best to push my business forward, and didn't really focus on, what product someone else was selling, because I have the same thing too. And trust me, it
Right.
works just as better. You have to be, it's the product that counts, but it's also the person behind the product that counts as well.
Right. And what's that right there? What was that one?
My baby twin tweezers. So this
Wow.
is a multi-purpose tweezer. I have a
Wow.
comb at the end of it. So you can use this for your eyebrows, your peach fuzz, of course, your edges. And to
Right.
all my wig makers out there, you can actually use this to make your wig instead of plucking, putting this down, pick up another tool to comb.
Right.
All you have to do, baby girl, is pluck and comb. It saves a lot of time, because like plucking wigs definitely takes a good 2 hours when you're
Just to
taking your
pluck.
time. Yeah, you have to pluck each knot out of the lace, but the goal is to just get to a natural style. Like, you want your the front of your hair to look very natural, and that's really the importance of plucking.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about the natural look. We talked a little bit about plucking.
Yeah.
The edges being laid. So what's the proper way to wear a unit? Because sometimes it's like, I don't know if it's the $20 ones, but sometimes it's like it's like a hat. It's because I mean I'm just the host. I'm asking the questions. So it's supposed to come off kind of natural, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so when you can see how do we fix that? And what are some mistakes that most people make when they're trying to wear
So I'm
wigs?
going to start with the mistakes so I can teach you how to fix it. So
Right,
a lot of mistakes I see is, like you said, people rush. They put, like, there's something called closure wigs, where you actually do put it on like a hat. But what people miss is, the blending portion. Like, you always have to blend your part with foundation to match your skin tone, and also to match the color of your scalp. Just taking that, allocating that time, like, again, wig doing wigs to me is self-care. Like, you need to think about this as self-care. If you want your wig to look good,
right,
definitely blending your parts, taking the time to install your hair, wearing scarves at night also help your hair stay in place.
right. Wow. So how long did it take you to learn this? Is it just natural to you, or did a lot of trial and error, or like you said, you always been into your looks? So is it natural, or is this something you learned over time?
Trial and error, because I'm human. YouTube University, believe it or not. YouTube University, people, has in 2018 has really, taught me basically everything I know now about units. And
Right,
I've had a lot of trial and error. I've definitely over bleached units. I've over plucked units, because when you're learning, it's like riding a bike. You fall at first, you mess up at first, and then you get it together. But I just got accepted to the Paul Mitchell School actually
wow,
a couple of days ago. So
wow.
I'll be getting my license at the best hair cosmetology school in
Right.
the country. So they do like New York Fashion Week, London, Paris Fashion Week. So and also
Wow.
Tay graduated from there.
He
So
graduated from there
I
as a
yeah, so I'm
performance.
super excited.
Yeah, that's dope right there. So when you talk about the hair industry, there's a lot of different places that you can branch off to in the hair fashion industry. So let me ask you, which ones do you enjoy the most?
Like hairstyles.
Right.
Hairstyles. My go-to is a half up, half down style. I like styles that accentuate my face. Like if you have a round face, I would say go for like a curly style or a bob that can kind of just shape your pretty face. Those are my styles. I've never gotten into like the rainbow and the color. I like to just keep it natural, although it's obviously not my hair, but like
Right.
to just keep the colors very calm. But I really look up to the women out there who are wearing this beautiful, pink units, red, blue units.
Right.
I think they're beautiful. And the way that they get made, there's like so many different methods that you can use to achieve those results. You can hand dye it, water dye it, and even on TikTok, there's like 50 million other ways you can do hair. But my favorite style is definitely a curly style that accentuates the face.
Wow. Okay. So now you got the hair done, they laying the edges. Let's talk about the eyebrows. Everybody's on fleek. So what does that mean?
Eyebrows on fleek. So eyebrows on fleek is when, your arch matches the your pupil and when the end of your eyebrow matches the outer corner of your eye.
Wow.
I think that's when, my eyebrows are on fleek is when the arch is on point. The arch is on point and they're blended. I haven't always been the best at that, but
Right.
I've learned. I've
Wow.
learned.
All right. So now you laying the edges, you got the eyebrows. So you're not drawing them on. Some people draw them on.
Look, and there's no problem with that. Some people actually get their eyebrows microbladed. Um
Wow.
Actually, yeah, today I have on eyebrows. I am not in full glam. This is a natural glam, but even without it, sometimes you don't really need too much, but even like you go to CVS, get a nice, eyebrow pencil to just fill in some spots.
Right.
And it's crazy because I feel like even when it comes to the lashes, men, you guys have like better lashes and eyebrows than us, and it's not fair. It's not fair at all. I see so many guys with like beautiful lashes and eyebrows, and it's like, did they miss something?
Wow. Well, I haven't never said this on air, I don't think, but I did go to college cosmetology school. I,
Really?
I really did. So the funny thing about it in cosmetology, you have to do before you work on a customer, you have to do it on yourself. So with the like you said, the razor, then the microblading of the eyelashes or the eyebrow,
Right.
I had to get that done.
Wow.
So it was like, and I had to learn because you're using it as like a thread.
So you know how to thread as well?
Yeah, I had to learn it, but that's not my cup of tea. I was there for barbering, but I had to
Right.
learn everything. You understand what I'm
That's
saying? So
crazy. My father's a barber. He actually taught me how to
wow,
do my first lineup when I was 6.
wow, wow. So 6 years old.
6 years old. I don't ask me now though. I might cut you. But when I when I was 6, yeah, he taught me how to do my first lineup.
Wow. So do you remember what was your go-to styles when you first started getting in the hair? Was it like the ponytails? Were you braiding? What was your first process when you learned how to do hair?
Well, in high school, that's when I started to, dive into like different hairstyles and getting onto YouTube. So my first go-to were like Bantu knots. Like I would have like two little like Minnie Mouse Bantu knots in the front and have my natural hair curly in the back. And I just love that because I could just like wet it and go and be fine. And
Right.
I actually won best hair in high school yearbook. So
Really?
I just like to try different things. The first time I dyed my hair was in ninth grade, and my
Wow.
mom almost killed me. But I
Wow.
dyed it purple, and that was just
Purple.
after that, yeah.
What's the
Purple.
story behind the purple? Was you a Prince fan? What was the deal with the purple?
Oh my God. So my mom always had red hair. And I said, okay, I won't go too far off the red, but I didn't want to do anything crazy. So I thought
Right.
purple, just me. I thought purple would be the best color of choice, but my favorite color is pink. So
Oh wow.
Now
Okay.
it's pink.
All right. So just so I can understand how purple you were, did you lift it or you just put the purple on your natural hair?
It was lifted. I actually got it done at a cosmetology school. Oh, I got in so much trouble that day.
Right.
Woo,
Right.
I got it done at a cosmetology school. And when my mom walked behind that counter, my whole head was yellow. And her
Wow.
face was red.
Right.
She Oh my god, yeah, it was at
Wow.
a cosmetology school, and I think they did a great job. It was so pretty. So
Wow. So,
yeah.
so okay, she kind of brought you there. You go in the back, and you just go for your own thing when you get in the back
Right.
back there. Wow.
She thought it was just a semi-permanent rent a door, jazz type of deal. No. I was like completely I look like a light bulb sign. I did.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So did you tone it down? How did you correct it?
I let well, I didn't know anything about hair. I was like, I think how old was I in ninth grade? I was 14, 15. I didn't know squat about hair. So
Right.
after my hair was bleached, I flat ironed it every day. I did everything you're not supposed to do with
Wow.
chemically, bleached hair.
Right.
So at that point, I noticed my hair was getting like shorter and shorter and shorter just from all the manipulation straightening my hair.
Right.
And then that's when I reverted to, the natural styles, the Bantu knots, the,
Right. The
cute
repair.
puffs and the curly styles. So
All right. So deep conditioning and stuff like that, it also works. So let me ask you a question. I asked you I think it was a couple months ago, about the hair stuff for guys. And you told me, yo, okay, yo, go get this. So I went and got it. Okay. So yo, hold on.
hey,
So
check you
hold on.
out, check you out.
So the thing was, I was thinning, so I was getting nervous because it was like, yo, my hair is, hey, I ain't ready to let it go yet.
Right?
You told me to go get the products. I've been using them, and my hair is holding on. So for the fellas out there that may be going through that, what advice would you give them?
My advice is, guys, I know you guys go through a lot too. Please don't stress. You don't have to stress. It's like black men. I'm going to get to that. But black men in this society, there's just a lot of pressure that's put on them. And that's why they thin, because we be stressing them out. Not we, but not us. But you know what I mean?
Right,
There's
right,
just a lot of pressure on these men. And to keep it together, try some products. I mentioned castor oil, and my liquid gold is infused with castor oil. So just using your hair time as self-care, men, just taking that time to yourself to cater to yourself, to give yourself a nice scalp massage. um
wow.
Definitely makes a big difference.
So is the hair gold? So if they order the hair gold, how often do they do it? And then how much does the bottle hair gold run?
So this is a 4-ounce bottle of liquid gold sativa growth oil. Basically, you can use this every day. It's a light oil, so it's not heavy at all. I actually use this on my face. Like, I actually
Oh
like
wow.
oil my body with this as well. Like, this is just
Right.
the best. I love this oil. But yeah, it's super thin, so you can use it every day. You would just need like 3 to 4 drops. I also put this in like my conditioners, my deep conditioners, just to add that extra oil, because I know a lot of shampoos, if they're not sulfate free, they strip a lot of oils out of your hair. So
Right.
adding a couple drops of this can also help. This also works on beards and all that good stuff as
Oh
well.
wow. So for the beard gang, they can get right.
Absolutely.
Okay, okay. So that makes sense right there. So you're doing products, you got the company. All right, and you started the company in 2018,
2020, April.
2020.
Mhm.
Okay, April 2020. So now the business is going. You're a student, you're an artist.
I'm
All right,
working.
right, and you're working. What adversities have you faced in the hair industry starting your business?
The adversities. Where the hell do I begin? Like earlier, just a lot of times just being told no, being told, this won't work. I don't just being told that I don't think this is gonna work for me, or you're gonna fail with this. That's just a lot of the direct, adversities that I've gone through last year. But
Right.
as far as that, I still brought my laptop to my desk at work. pulled up my website, and I actually made my website from scratch, from all the
Wow.
SEOs to all the coding and
Right.
logos and everything. I spent a lot of time doing that, so that really blocked out a lot of that
Wow.
negativity. I really try not to,
Even hear it.
even hear it. I don't hear it.
Right. Yeah. So that's the best way to be. So you said you did the coding
Yeah, Shopify.
through Shopify,
Yeah,
but you still did the coding.
yeah.
How long did it take you to learn coding? And SEO is very important.
Oh my God. I'm just so thankful they had a guide. I had
Right.
someone with like an expert to kind of walk me through it.
Right.
I really, it was important for me to learn on my own just in case someone else wasn't there. But I remember taking like this coding class in 10th grade. Yeah, it was 10th grade. And it was so stupid. We had to like build our own like mini apps. It was
Right.
like, it's like a stupid app. So from then I said, okay, I think I can do this. So just with the guide of Shopify, I like, if you see the Shopify, girl, thank you so much for helping me and just helping me guide through this process. And yeah, just through the trial and errors. Like I actually started on Square. So I started
Okay.
off on a whole different,
Platform. Right.
literally, just because, things don't always go as planned. And that's why I think it's important to learn the foundations, of your business, learn how to code, learn how to do SEO to gain that traction, to your
Right.
business. It's really important.
Right. So a lot of people they have the business, but they don't know the know-how. So when we talk about SEO, that's search engine optimization. What's the importance of that? And then let me ask you a second part two to the question. So the first one is
SEO. Oh, I
right,
thought you were okay. But yeah, SEO. So when you type in like a website on Google, the first thing you're gonna see is like their menu and like a list of like drop down menu items.
right,
And that'll just easily help you access whatever you're looking for. So it's just like the more times that's on Google, on like Google Ads, like the more times someone sees it, the more times someone's will be more willing to purchase or click on that. So
right,
yeah, this is all a learning process. So
right.
yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you, okay, now you have the website, now you have the business. We're talking SEO.
Yeah.
All right. What's the difference between having a Facebook page, your personal page, you're running a business off of, versus having a business page, running the business off? What are the pros and cons to that?
The pros and cons. Well, I'm gonna start with the cons. For me, specifically on my Facebook page, it's a lot of friends and family,
Right.
so it kind of keeps your audience in a bubble. But as far as like promoting your businesses on other pages, you get to reach people in California, people in Canada, India. Like you get to reach different types of people, and that all brings, traction to your
Right.
website. So yeah, Facebook, I love my friends and family, but it's definitely, within that bubble. But as
Right.
far as anything else, you get to reach the world, reach the stars. I hope you
I feel you on that. Yeah. So,
do.
all right. So, where are some of the places that people have tapped into the business? Because you can track where they're from, right?
Right.
So, where are some of the places just throughout the world that people are tapping in?
So it's been Daytona, Charlotte. I've had customers in New York, Atlanta, more recently, of course, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. So far, it's more so on like the East Coast.
Right.
So my goal for the Lace Room is to definitely expand with more brand ambassadors, representatives, so that we can meet the West Coast halfway and get some more, lace babes on the team.
And get it out there. Yeah, and that's a powerful thing, like you said. So you want to get some brand ambassadors, but data. So that's the difference. It's like when you're running the business, a lot of times when you're not thinking about it. You're just putting stuff out there. How important is the data? So I asked you, I said, so what places are tapping into the company? And because you're looking at the data sheets, you know who's supporting, where to target, where the market is. How important is that for business owners? Because I asked that question to some people, and sometimes they look at me like, the data? Break down data, and how does that translate to sales and support?
Data. So on Shopify, they have this amazing little app where you get to track who sees your store at what time, the type of things they're adding to their cart, the first landing page, different things that they're googling. So data, it really is a great way to track, like your history and where you could possibly go, and just basically the growth of your audience. To me, that's what the data is showing me. It's
Right.
it's just growth, you know.
Right. And it's showing you, so even when you go into marketing and advertisement, you know the areas, the hot spots to hit,
Exactly.
because those are the people already supporting. Okay, so
Absolutely.
you have the Shopify, you have the website. What can people expect from the Lace Room in the future? Tell them about the products you have now, because I'm pretty sure you got more than the ones you showed me. So let them know what all you have and how can they find the website.
Oh my God. So if you are just learning about wigs, if you're just, getting into hair care, I definitely think the Lace Room is the place for you. I've spent a lot of time sampling, buying the wrong products. But if you really want products that are going to grow your hair, like I'm here basically to make sure your crown never tips or that your lace like ever lifts,
Right.
and in the future, I really want to grow a team, because there's no eyes in teams, and two minds are better than one. Like it's a one woman show over here. And
Right.
I know there's a lot of talented people out there that can definitely be added on to this team. But as far as products, yep, I also have a wig grip, which can be worn underneath your wig. So if you don't want to wear glue, if you don't yeah, want to put any like extra products, or even the got to be glued underneath your wig, you can put on like a
Wow.
wig grip. That's also another product I have. And I also have different textures of wigs and hair extensions, and a few other things that will be added on to the product line.
Okay. All right. So you're putting in work. You're definitely growing. You're expanding. When you first started, did you expect it to move this fast?
Yes and no.
Uh,
Yes and no. Yes, because I have high expectations. Like I'm just my worst critic. Like I have high expectations. But no, because again, it was the middle of a pandemic and everyone's going through a lot of different things, and everyone else needs support too. Like I'm not the only one who needed that,
right.
support. So it's definitely a 50-50.
Yeah, that makes sense right there. You definitely have a good head on your shoulders. You're definitely determined. Okay. So now let's talk about your balance, and you got the business. You're working on the project. You're doing voiceovers. How did you get into voiceovers?
So, I was in like this group on Clubhouse called Industry Connect, and we kind of would just tap in, network, pitch, and do a lot of different things to just meet a lot of amazing different people. And actually, someone contacted me. I'm not going to say his name. He contacted me and wanted me to do an ad for someone else's business. And I said, you know what? He said, well, first he said I had like the voice.
Right.
I can sound pretty animated at times.
Right.
Actually, I'm manifesting to be the next Disney princess
Dope.
a few years from now. I feel it. I feel it in my soul. But yeah, he reached out to me. He said, I like your voice, this could be a career for you. And I said, you know what, you're right.
Right.
You're right. So I just started, offering free services, free consultations at first on Clubhouse, and saying, if you have a business, come slide in my DMs. I have a free consultation, or just things that can help you with your business later on. Then
Right.
after that, I started just making that into like a side hustle type of thing.
Right.
Just help having people come in my DMs, do the consultations, even if they don't want to pay for an advertisement, they still leave with, a nice concrete kind of like a summary, just about their entire business, and they can use that for themselves. So I started on Clubhouse. Like Clubhouse, y'all need to get on that,
Right.
honestly.
Clubhouse is absolute the clubhouse. So you're doing your thing, right? You're doing the consultations. You're doing the voiceovers.
Right.
All right. So, okay. Did you always know you had a good speaking voice for like advertising, or it was a moment in time where it's like somebody said, besides him, they said, yo, you got a voice? Or did you already know? Like, cause I look at you and I can just imagine you always been star quality. Like I'm the star of the show. The queen is here. So am I off, or is that how it was, or when did you realize you had to work?
Not at all. When I was little, I actually got bullied for my voice. People thought I sounded like a just like a little baby all the time. Even on the phone when I was little, like people
Right.
would thought I was like a little girl. So people would just say, "Your voice is too squeaky. No one's going to, hear you. No one's going to listen to you." Then I got that security job, and a lot of people were sorry after that one.
Right.
So it took a lot of just building up that self-confidence to really amplify my voice and knowing that way my voice is distinct, it's unique, and there's different things I can do with it, like even when it's like even when it's on animated characters, or
Right.
just cartoons, it's having that versatility and being able to fluctuate.
Wow.
Yeah, I appreciate it now.
Okay. So we're talking about doing animated projects. What's your mind process when you're getting ready and you say you want to do a princess, right? You want to do okay. So you're doing the princess. How do you get in your zone to decide what voice to use, how to reflect your tones? What's that process like?
Watch Disney movies. You have to watch the Disney movies, just listen to the different ways they, pronunciate, and just I definitely watch Disney movies. That's literally what I do.
Wow.
And then I'll like find a sentence that, Ariel would say or Mulan would say. Then I record it and kind of see, okay, maybe I can change this part of the sentence, to kind of match what's going on. But definitely watching cartoons, Disney movies.
Wow.
I'd say my favorite Disney movie is, damn, I didn't do that to myself. I have two.
Okay.
It's Aladdin, definitely Mulan. So those are the two movies that I watch the most, and
Wow.
it's been inspiration.
Can I ask you something without you getting mad if I put you on the spot? All right. So with Mulan, right? That's your favorite. I know my kids when they watching Disney, they can recite it. They know it word for word. What's your favorite scene in Mulan?
Oh my gosh, my favorite scene is when she's like transforming into like a male soldier, and she
Right.
has to try to keep up with all the guys and do what all the guys do, like climb up the pole, swim, and she's trying to kind of like mask her identity. I think that's probably the best. I think that's my favorite scene. And
All
they're all
right.
kind of like marching, like they don't figure it out yet, but she's holding her own there. So I respect Mulan for that one.
All right. So that's good right there. Yo, so is it a favorite line that you got a line from the movie that you like? A favorite line?
Let's see. I like the song where she's like, "Here's to the girl I see standing there watching me." That's one
Right.
of my favorites.
Right. Yeah. So okay. That's what I was trying to get you to do. So you did it. You definitely did it. So I could tell this is something that you really want to do. And how much practice do you do? How much learning, like you said, researching? How much time do you put into that side?
And to this side, well, this is something fairly new. I did start with like advertisements and sponsorships. So definitely just still taking notes, watching movies, um, meeting with someone that can really just talk to me about steps to move forward as far as like the animated side, and of course just networking and getting connected with the right people. It's just always easier to do it like that way.
All right. And I like to bounce all around when we having these conversations.
I
So
love it.
you have a unique voice. So how would you describe your sound?
My sound is super, I think it's very pure. It's very childlike. um you know it's just it's very calm. It's not too aggressive. So I'm super soft spoken.
Right.
I think my sound is like very sweet. Yeah, as far as like doing the voiceovers.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
that versatility is also important though. Being
Right.
able to switch up from Disney princess to someone else's marketing, someone else's company. You
Right.
definitely need that in
I
between.
feel you on that. So okay. So now somebody's coming for a consultation. They need a voiceover for marketing. do you come up with what you're gonna say? What's that process like, or do you kind of wing it, or do you already have like an idea of what they're trying to do with the marketing, and that's taken care of in the consultation?
Absolutely, yeah. So there's already a business plan for that. Soon as you hit me up for a consultation, I'll then send you a series of just questions, very important questions that can just pull out the best qualities of your business and would be that would help represent your business the best in an advertisement. So these specific questions are just super important to pulling out that important information and just piece it all together.
Wow.
So yeah. So basically in consultations, I just want to learn more about you and what makes your business unique and how we can, distinct that from your competitors. That's my main point, my main,
Right.
priority.
That makes sense right there. So in advertising and marketing, is there other services you do as far as branding and helping companies besides the voiceovers? Let's talk about that real quick.
So besides that, I got the hair thing going on. Now I'm helping other people design their own websites, business cards, helping them write their own SEOs, and just I'm really starting to get into like the brand, like the whole like assessment of it and just helping others so they don't have to spend like so they don't really have to do what I had to do to get to the
Right.
website I'm now at. They don't have to go through different platforms and the trial of errors. So that's something new that I'm working on.
Okay. So it's all one stop shop. A lot of trials and errors you learned from. What are some things that you know now that you wish you would have knew in the beginning?
Lord, um, damn, things that I wish I knew later on. I mean, I'm always learning, and I wouldn't even be here if I, didn't know them things.
Right.
If I didn't know them things later on, but
Right.
definitely just to maintain your grace, your composure, be confident, and to always stay focused on, like, just always have like a main goal in your head. Try not to like do too much or like overwhelm yourself with
Right.
something, but just to take the time to like dissect, really allocating that time to just dissect what you really want to do and just to make a concrete plan, on how you're going to get there is something that I really wish I knew. Really
In the
wish I
beginning.
knew.
In the beginning. All
Yeah,
right.
in the beginning.
But you started younger, so you was in school. You're doing a lot. You got there, so now you figured out your way. You're here now. You're
Yeah,
empowering others. That's a plus because not only, like you said, there's no I in team. You need a network, and through
absolutely.
Clubhouse, you've been able to expand. What other things from learning about strategizing, learning about marketing has helped your company? And what things have you learned from Clubhouse? And you said YouTube University?
Yep,
That's taking your
certified.
company that's taking your company to another level.
Something that's really important to me is really knowing your niche and your audience and like not looking at your audience as a niche, but like understanding them as people and building a relationship with them, and just like whether it's like what's your favorite color, like what do you like to eat, just kind of like building that relationship with your audience really really helps. And that's also something I learned on Clubhouse because when I first got on there, those people were building relationships with me, and I had to take a step back and say, okay, I understand what you're doing.
Right.
I definitely get it, and just definitely building that relationship.
Right. With those relationships, it gets your name out there.
It
It
definitely
gets you in
does.
places that you normally wouldn't get into.
Right.
So, okay. Now, so you got the lace room, you got the voiceovers. How do you manage branding and separating the companies? Or do you run them all together? Or do you keep them separate? And what are some of the adversities, the pros of having it together versus having them separate?
So I actually take consultations on my personal page, which is
Okay.
Niambi Baby with two Y's.
Right.
So yeah, that's basically how I separate, voiceovers from the lace room. And you said keeping them together.
Right. You know, sometimes people are all they have different companies, but they're promoting on one page,
Right.
or do you have the pages separated?
Yeah, so I have two separate pages for the voiceovers and the lace room. But yeah, I don't suggest overlapping them into one page. That's why I think it's important to have, like a Snapchat, Instagram,
Right.
a Twitter, a Facebook, to have, each thing that you're working on deserves its own home, its own, space. And you really don't want those things to like overlap or like connect. I mean, sometimes they can connect, but at first I noticed that, being a Jane of all trades is just like what you see is what you get.
Right.
What you see is what you get. It's like a menu. But
Right.
definitely just separating the things you're working on. It really
Wow.
helps.
All right. And you are a Jane of all trades. So how do you find balance to give every one of them your 100%? Is it like I'm gonna focus on this one now? I'm gonna focus on that one. How does that work? Or is it like you take a break on one and focus on another one? Or how do you keep that going?
So throughout my day, I'm that type of person. I have to like be on a certain like type of schedule. So basically throughout my day, I kind of like allocate that time again. Like, okay, in the morning, I'm gonna work on my hair. In the afternoon, I'm gonna switch over to, consultations. And later on that day, I'm gonna just sit down and take everything like a grain of salt. So definitely just separating that time is so important, because and just having a schedule, because you don't want to be running off like a chicken with no head.
Right.
You want to be structured and just completely organized, just straight organized. So personally for me, just like allocating that time is
Wow.
really important, because like I'm just that type of person. Like I can be doing something, but thinking about doing something totally like not related to that. I'm
At
just
the same
like,
time.
Lord, I'm curling my wig, but I'm thinking about school. Like it's just, but just definitely finding that time so you can give your all.
All right. So let's talk back. Let's dive back into the school. So you were talking about the frat parties and stuff earlier. You're doing getting your girlfriend's head ready. What's the party life? Do you have any time for partying?
Um, I can definitely squeeze in a nice little Friday night, Saturday night type of, wave with like a few close friends. I'm more of like an intimate type of person.
Okay.
Anyway, like I feel like I did all of that at school, which
Right.
I'm really glad I did, because I met a lot of amazing people at UMass Dartmouth.
Right.
But partying, I like to have a good time. Always
Okay.
like to have a great time.
Nothing wrong with that. So you lived the college life. All right. For the people that didn't, is it like the movies? Is it like is it like what was that experience like?
Woo! Um, uh,
You don't have to put all your business out there.
no. It's not like the movies. It's nothing like 21 Jump Street or anything like that. Um, it really just depends on who you're hanging around with. It's college. Like you're on campus with a good 6,000 other people with 6,000 other personalities. So you're gonna meet a lot of crazies and cuckoos. But it's really not much like what you see in the movies. It really
Right.
depends on who you're hanging with.
Okay.
Not saying you won't catch a movie on campus, but
All right. So that's dope. So now you're going back for your masters?
so actually I'm transitioning to the Paul Mitchell School in Rhode Island, which is gonna be amazing. I can't wait to do that. So
Right.
just taking a break, having a few semesters left. Again, just allocating that time to give your 100% to the different things that you're doing. I
Right.
think it's just the best way to go. Again, it's not a race, it's a marathon. It's a
That's def-
marathon.
that definitely makes sense. So now you're about to go to Paul Mitchell.
Mm,
You about to get your license and all that. What sections of cosmetology are you looking forward to the most? Because you get color, you get cuts, all of that. So you're gonna have to learn all of it. So what
right,
parts
right,
are you
right.
most excited about?
I'm really excited about the coloring.
The coloring.
I'm so excited. I'm a huge scientist at heart. I love just mixing things and just trying out new colors. Like
Right.
actually just did a wig. I hand dyed a wig. That's just
Wow.
something out of my norm,
Right.
and I love just experimenting with new things, colors, also the cutting. is really going to be really interesting. I'm also doing the makeup academy, so I'm going to learn how to do the
Makeup again.
microblading, airbrushing. So there's a lot of
Wow.
things that I know, and a lot of things that I can't wait to learn.
Yeah, that makes sense right there. So you said the airbrushing.
Oh my god.
That's a thing. That's a new
Yes,
thing, right? So
yes,
let's
that
break
is.
down the airbrushing. And is that for women only or men and women airbrush? Let's talk about
Men airbrush too. You'll be surprised all your favorite actors and celebrities airbrush or at least get a little touch up of concealer here and there. But
it. Right.
airbrushing definitely helps you get like a consistent color over your face. And it's just an easier technique to use to get that. Because I'm more so a hairstylist, I feel like airbrushing would be the best first step into getting into that makeup academy,
Right.
so I can do the weddings and all the birthdays and
So you want to do
video
the
shoots,
so you're gonna do the weddings, the video shoots, and all that.
everything. Absolutely.
Wow. So all right. So okay, you got makeup, you got the hair. So pretty much you're gonna learn the whole scope. So what
Right.
can people expect 5 years, 10 years from now, from the Lace Room, and what's the vision? What's the direction of the company?
So, the vision of the Lace Room is to be a beauty bar slash like hair salon where you can get your nails done, get your waxes, get your lashes and your hair done. And the Lace Room bar will consist of all the beauty supply products that you're going to need for those appointments. So in the future, learning more techniques, getting a lot of things down packed. That's definitely what's is going on. Like I really am looking at suites and like empty
Uh-huh.
spaces to kind of like separate the lace room from like the lace bar because the lace room is just it's just a whole transitional experience. Like, girl, you could come in, you have anything on your mind, you can talk about it, vent to me while I give you a nice scalp massage, wash your hair, and
Wow.
then you can end your appointment off with like your makeup being done, a nice photo shoot. You can see the before and after and just see that beautiful transformation. So that I
Wow.
just can't wait to make the lace room more of a, like an experience,
That's what I was about to
honestly.
say. I'm hearing the experience with the Lace Room. So you say you're gonna expand with the Lace Bar.
Correct.
And that's where the makeup and all this stuff will be done? Or is it like a bar? Because some places they have the wine and stuff now.
So the bar, because I do have a sweet concoction of, products, the
Right.
bar will consist of, the lace glues, the edge controls. And actually, if you go on my website right now, I have a 24/7 happy hour where
Wow.
you can find these products on
Right.
thelaceroom.org. So the bar will consist of all your sweet products that you will be using in our room.
Wow. Okay. So you're gonna get into more distributing, more marketing.
Absolutely.
So is this gonna be directly? We're talking 5 years, 10 years. Is the goal to directly come to you, or do you want it in stores like chain?
I definitely would love the lace room to expand to different cities, different states. Because I mean, there are lace babes all over the country, and we all deserve to have our crown stand up straight. And I feel like you understand, you feel me, King. We all deserve our crowns to stand up straight, and I definitely just want to. I just want to expand all over the world.
Wow. Okay.
Sweets, sweets all over the world.
That's definitely big right there, and that's definitely would be dope. That's a
Yeah.
dope concept right there. So let me ask you, with being a stylist,
Yeah.
will you do natural and process hair, or would you focus more on the units once you get your license? What's
Right.
your
So
goal?
So my goal definitely is to get down with the natural hair. It all starts with the natural hair because that's where I started,
Right.
and there are a lot of things that I wish that I learned and I knew in high school, that I know now. So definitely getting down with our natural queens. That's why I do offer, products for our natural babes because again, it's all about the health underneath your unit. So just doing the pressing curls, I want to wash your hair before I start, your
Wow.
experience. That's the goal. And
Right.
that's I'm gonna be able to do that. So I can't wait to
Wow.
get that crack.
All right. So that's dope right there. So you're giving them an experience. So walk me through the experience. So you're gonna get the shampoo, you get the scalp. Paint the picture for us. You're a wordsmith. You're a writer.
So
Right.
basically, it's not even basic. You're gonna come in, you're gonna get your hair washed. You know, if you have anything going on, for females, getting your hair done is like they're very therapeutic, or at least for me, it's very therapeutic. So you can just talk to me while I'm giving you a scalp massage. Of course, you're gonna come in with your desired style, but the goal here is just to make you feel like yourself. You know, make you feel like yourself again, and to really bring that magic, you know, to your experience. Just doing your hair, the bar is going to be right next to you, so you can always pick and choose your favorite products that you want to use on your hair. Um,
Wow.
Definitely ending off with a beautiful makeup look of your choice and completing that with a photo shoot after your hair is completed. I
Wow.
think that that's just the full on, you know, experience, the full
Right.
on beauty experience.
Right. So it's kind of like a superstar lifestyle, but it's like kind of celebrating their life because it's like when we get our haircuts, the same with y'all, when you get your hair done and your makeup, you feel better.
Right?
The way you look is a representation of how you feel. So it's like you can be feeling down and let me go get fly right quick. Or women, I want to get pampered or dolled up. And now
Absolutely.
if how important, I hear you keep saying self-care, self-love. Let's talk about affirmations. I heard you talk about manifesting.
Yes.
How important is controlling what you think about, controlling the people around you, protecting your environment when it comes to being a business owner or a person with a vision or dream?
You know, one of the things I really do when I say my affirmations, I like to look in the mirror. I kind of like to eliminate anything around me, you know, just telling yourself, you know, you got this. You know, you're a boss, you're beautiful. You can achieve anything,
Right,
because your mind, people can literally think themselves into a disease.
right,
Like, you can literally think yourself into becoming sick and being a disease. So if you can think yourself into a disease, you can think yourself into living your greatest dreams. You can think yourself into success, and just being a business owner with that mindset. It's just important not to like lose grip of it, you know, and not to like not to lose that, you know. And always just reading my Bible and praying is a huge part of keeping my peace, controlling my peace, you
right.
know, within me and also around me. So just not losing that focus, and just, you know, when you wake up every day, just tell yourself like, yeah, yeah, today's the day. Every day's that day, but every time you wake up, tell yourself, I'm back, today's the day.
Wow.
That's
That's
me, and that's
that,
me. I
right.
can't speak for everyone though.
Now I feel you though, but that's a good mindset to have, and I can tell your confidence. I can tell you have a good energy, good spirit. So, what motivates you? Where do you get your motivation from?
Motivation. Well, I would say my mom motivates me the most. She's, you know, living in a single parent household. She's just been my superwoman. I've seen this woman do everything, you know, just everything. And I said, you know, if my mom can do this, I can do this times two. You
Wow,
know what I understand? If my mom can do this, then I can do this. Like, my mom is my everything. She was
right,
also my brand ambassador when I went down to Atlanta for the pop-up shop
wow,
and the boss experience red carpet event. So she's my huge supporter, two, my just biggest motivation.
right. Okay. So, how important is that? Let's talk about that. Growing up,
Hmm.
you're in the city, you're in Boston. Your mom is your rock. How important for women out there? How important is that bond? How important is that setting that example and that standard for the younger women?
It's super important just to have that bond with your mom, because there's a lot of things that you're gonna go through in life that you want to know beforehand how to, you know, come correct, or how to, you know, handle these situations, especially as a young woman, and just maintaining your pureness, maintaining your grace. Definitely just having that relationship in your mom could save you from a lot. Can definitely save
Wow,
you from a lot. So I kudos to my mommy. I love her so
right.
much.
Yeah,
I
definitely
do.
right there.
Words can't even explain.
Right. And the thing is, our lives are a reflection of the work they put in. So obviously the seeds that she laid, they're manifesting, they're coming into fruition. So that's a wonderful blessing. the thing is, with the agenda that's being pushed, the way that the media is controlling the narrative, a lot of our people are distracted. What advice would you give the young girls, the young women, and then the young guys out here?
A young woman, if you're distracted, there's most likely something you were focused on beforehand.
Right.
Try to focus on what you wanted to do beforehand. You understand what I'm trying to get at? If you're distracted, you're being distracted from something, you know? So just I, first identify what that something is, and then figure out ways how to hone it, how to tune it, how to make it work for you so you can get yourself out of, whatever
Right.
situation you're in.
Right. That's pretty real right there. That's pretty real. So what about the young guys out here with the music, a lot of influence? What advice do you have for them?
For them, I would say stay authentic because a lot of the male artists out here, it's really heavily saturated,
Right.
and it's kind of becoming harder to distinct who is who. So just being yourself and finding those little pockets of, I mean, like again, like I said earlier, we're all diamonds, and that pressure is what makes you distinct. So take
Right.
that and put that into whatever you're working with, and make that your thing, make that you, and just don't really focus on what everyone else is doing. I mean, you see it, but you know
Right.
yourself better, and you know what you can do.
Right. That makes sense right there. And I definitely agree. So let me ask you, let's talk music now. So what 5 female singers have influenced your career?
Let's see. So I already mentioned Keisha Cole. She's like my
Keisha
top
Cole.
top number one. Rihanna. Rihanna's
Right.
amazing. I like her Caribbean vibe.
Right.
I also listened to like Destra a lot when I was younger. She's an artist from
Uh-huh.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
Yeah, my family's from Trinidad.
Oh, really?
Destra, that's three. Ooh, female. Kaylani.
Kalani.
Kaylani. She's one of my favorites. And Queen Naija,
Right.
she
Yeah.
has a lot of range.
Wow.
She could sing. Like she really has a lot of range. I love that.
Wow. So do you do any shows or like do you do any performances? How's that been?
Well, because of COVID, I've been unable to do that. But of
Right.
course, in the summer, I can't wait to do this Zoom party. Like it's gonna be
Wow.
like the best Zoom party ever, you know.
Right.
Or I'm pretty sure a lot of things are gonna be open by then. So fine,
Right.
figuring that out. But yeah, due to COVID and being on campus, because I was on campus up until spring break of last year, and that's when everything just wiped out. So just being on campus, having them little private shows, with like a group of my friends, or that was always sweet. But it's about to get big. It's gonna get big.
All right. Okay. So I'm excited about it. Okay. So let's take it back to high school. So you were a cheerleader, you're writing. Were you like you remember the movie with
Bring it
Christina?
on.
Which one?
Bring
Bring It On?
bring it on.
That's a good one too. But then there's one with Nick Cannon and Christina Milian
That's the band one, right?
that stomped the yard. But I think the one I'm talking about is Buy Love, something. Money Can't Buy Love or something. He's the pool boy. But anyway, if you had to describe your personality, you're a cheerleader. Were you a bring it on type of girl? The mean girls? Or what type of cheerleader were you?
I was definitely giving Gabrielle Union and Bring It On,
Wow.
like all the way there. Definitely had to add my own spice and my own flavor.
Right.
But the team was amazing though. I wish I could just go back in time and just like redo everything. It was just so much fun. Honestly, I feel like high school went by so quick.
It's like
My
when you're in
life
high school, right?
too. It's just, oh my gosh, I couldn't wait for that same time. But
Yeah.
yeah, Gabrielle
That,
Union, bringing on vibes. Like we were feeling ourselves. The Grizzlies were
wow.
feeling ourselves.
Wow. So all right. So now with them, they were kind of hip hopish. They was kind of street a little bit. So are you telling me y'all, you had the street
No, we
with you.
wasn't. No,
All
we
right,
couldn't. We couldn't do none of that. We couldn't
right,
go
right,
all crazy, crazy. But we definitely try to add our own, like dance moves or something to make our team unique from the original choreography. So
right.
definitely just bringing that little piece of Dorchester Roxbury into the
Wow.
choreography made a big difference.
Yeah, so let's talk about it, right? Okay, so let's talk about what was that music scene like out there coming up. There's a lot of big guys, big artists from out your way. So let's talk about some of that and how did it influence the city of Boston and the music scene out there?
Oh my gosh. What I think a lot of artists in Boston do, they speak a lot about their experiences, and Boston may seem sweet on the outside, but it's very cookie cutter, very cutthroat, So
Wow.
the music scene back then, a lot of our young men were just going through so much. So it
Right,
was just, a lot of drill, a lot of drill, which is something you can't really help because you live it. You live it every day.
right,
Back then, someone I really listened to a lot was Chris Brown. Like I was
right.
just, all into that. But the artists in Boston are just totally different from that. They bring just definitely an authentic, like I lived this. Now I'm gonna talk about it.
Wow. So
That's just the type of energy they bring. Absolutely.
right. So it's kind of like it's kind of like how rap was back in the day. Like unless you was living it, you don't say it on the
Keep your
microphone.
mouth shut.
You keep your mouth
Absolutely.
shut. So yo, all right, when we talk about Boston, there's a certain all right that doesn't need to be said. Boston is on the map for Boston.
Right.
All right. So now you're out here, you're artist. You're representing Boston. Is that a lot of pressure or not at all? Because you are who you are. But how does that feel? Because there's a lot when you say I'm Boston. How does that affect you and what is your take on that?
I mean, it could be pressure. I mean, there's a lot of different opinions out there. Like everyone didn't live the same life as me. There are a
Right.
lot of different trials and tribulations that I went through. But the thing that makes Boston Boston is just speaking from your heart and speaking from, where you came from and
Right.
things that you've actually endured in your life, and that's the most important piece. It's just keeping a solid ground on the truth,
Yeah,
you know.
and that's real right there. Keeping the truth and being honest to yourself. And
Right.
then you said you have a relationship with God. He's the foundation of it all.
Right.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now the project's coming. We got the virtual concert. We got the business out. We got the voiceovers. You said you was telling them about the services earlier.
Hmm.
If you say they can DM you. Hold on, let me pull that up.
Yes, the consultations.
Right, for the consultations at the Laceroom LLC, and that's on Instagram.
Yes, that is on Instagram.
Okay.
Nope,
So
Niam baby with two eyes. I'm sorry. That's the lace room. But for voiceovers, please contact me on Niam baby with two eyes. I do
with two
like
eyes.
to separate the two because the lace room legally is its own entity. So
Right.
definitely all your hair needs the lace room, but voiceovers, ads, sponsorships, Niambi with two eyes.
All
Niam
right.
baby.
Niambi, baby. Yo, so let's talk about it. You say your name means melody?
Yes, melody in Swahili.
Okay, so when did you realize that? You said when you found out that's kind of was a sign, but where did your name come from? Have your parents ever told you what inspired that name? Because I haven't met a lot of people named with your
Right?
name. Right.
It's actually my mom's middle name. So
Wow.
yeah, so it came from my mom. I feel like I'm a junior. Like, am I a junior? I think I'm a junior. But
Right.
yeah, it came from my mom. And her godparents were from India and gave her that name, gave her that middle
Wow.
name. So she
Wow.
said,
So
and that's yours.
right. So
And
your
I rock
family
it.
is from different places. So did you get to visit any of these places, or were you pretty much in Boston the whole time, or have you been back to? I think you said Trinidad. Have you ever been to
Mhm.
India, places like that?
Haven't been to India. I do have family in Trinidad, but coming back and forth to the US, Trump, it wasn't the easiest, but I am a Boston native. This is my home.
Right.
And, I'm homegrown. So everything I do is branched off from here.
Wow. So let me ask you a question, and we're gonna go through each one.
Mhm.
You do a lot, so we're gonna ask you, okay, in music, what are 5 things you want to accomplish before your story is done?
Definitely getting my first project out there is definitely one of the first things I really want to do. Um, Building a bigger audience and m- marketing myself more as an artist because there are different things I'm doing. Sometimes, sometimes some things, gotta wait.
Right.
It's all about prioritizing and again, allocating that time to do that. As far as my music, I would love to collab. Like, there's a lot of amazing Boston artists out here. So if you're watching, tap in with me. Let's collab. I want to collab with more, like
Right.
Boston artists. Definitely. And yeah, that's really what I'm looking forward to. Just collaborating, expanding, portraying, marketing myself, and yeah, just learning.
Okay. So when things open back up, can people expect videos? And what's your recording like process? Do you record yourself? Do you go to a studio? How does that work?
So at the moment, a lot of things are closed, but afterwards, like I know super dope girl in Atlanta. She has like this dance studio. So I'm already thinking,
Right.
already thinking ahead about, how to construct these things.
Right.
But for the most part, it's a one woman show. But oh my God, there's so many talented people out there that I'd love to just,
Right.
let's make it do what it do.
I feel you on that. So, are any cities or states you're looking forward to performing in or doing your music?
Florida.
Florida.
Florida's definitely one of them. I love Florida. Um, I want to get out to Cali.
Cali.
They have a great audience out there in Cali. Atlanta's amazing, of course. Can't forget about
Right.
ATL. But those are definitely my three
Right.
main states that I really want to
Okay.
put my stamp on.
Nothing wrong with that. So, what type of sounds do you like? Is it pop, neo, ballads? What do you enjoy the most?
I'm more into like R&B with like a hint of pop, but I it's either like R&B with a hint of pop, a
Right.
combination of R&B and like reggae, anything that really incorporates, the rhythm and blues.
Okay.
So yeah, that's definitely my vibe because I'm more of just like a sultry type of person, but I don't mind, kicking it up a notch. I don't mind falling back a little bit, with my
Right.
sound. So just yeah, definitely a piece of R&B and everything.
Okay. So, I think speaking of Keisha Cole, I think she had a song with Sean Paul. Give it all to me or something like that.
Right.
Right. So, would you do something like that?
Oh yes, yes.
Wow.
That would be
Because coming
amazing.
from the background, so let me ask you: have you been to the carnival, the West Indian Parade, any of that? All right. So for the people that don't know, because I'm in North Carolina, I'm originally
Mm.
from New York, but I moved down south. So people down here, they have no idea about the West Indian Parade and carnivals and stuff like that. So tell them, just explain the scene to them. What's that all about?
First, you got to start getting ready like months before Carnival even is a thought because the time it takes to make these costumes.
Right.
Oh my gosh. So first you got to prepare for months, but the first event for Carnival is Juve. So that's where you're kind of, you're with friends, family, your linemen inside of the streets. They have like paints, um, the steel pan. There's a bunch of like different cars with like the steel pan, and you're basically kind of it's like a rejoice in a way, and it's kind of just like the icebreaker, because you're gonna
Right.
see them people later on in the day, in the night, but it's kind
Right.
of like the icebreaker where you get to let free, let loose, don't have to worry about anything,
Wow.
you get to just let go. And Carnival is just the time. I feel like it's mostly for like the ladies. They
Right.
get to wear, just the beautiful like masquerade type of costumes. They have like the feathers. Oh my gosh, they have costumes that are just like so huge. Um Again, it's just a time to represent your country, TNT.
Right.
Um And just to have so much fun, just to have fun with your peers. It's like an outside club times 10.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
Oh, and
That's
don't
it.
get me started on the food.
Yeah, let's get to it because that's the
Oh,
thing. It's like, yo, all right, being a singer, being a female, and then you're in the fashion industry. Are you limited on the certain things you can eat? What do you like? And let's talk about the food at the carnival.
so like doing voiceovers, I definitely try to limit myself on like milk, like yogurt. Like I drink almond milk and I'm not
Okay.
like a cereal person. So just things that can like strip your vocal cords and, not really make you sound your best. Um, but for the most part, I love my seafood. My favorite food has to be crab legs.
Wow.
If you're from Boston, you already know the
Right.
crab legs are just delicious. Like there are no more crabs in the sea, at all.
All gone.
Oh gosh. But as far as carnival goes, in Trinidad they have kalaloo and crab, pilau, dumpling. In the morning they start off with bake, which is kind of like, oh my god, it's hard to explain. It just tastes so good. It's
Wow.
baked. It's kind of like a bread. You could either fry it or roast it in the oven. So you can have it fried with shark. You kind of prepare it like you do
Wow.
saltfish with the shark, bacon shark.
Right.
For lunch, we'll either skip lunch because dinner is just a plethora of dishes. Like you got the kalaloo, the stuffed fish. You have like just so many cuisines,
Wow.
and the thing about Trinidad, it's like a big melting pot. Like you have Koreans, Chinese, Vietnamese, Spanish, a bunch of different people who live there. So when it really reflects in the food, like we make like lo mein and
Wow.
just different pieces of home. You
Right.
know, it's just so bomb.
Wow.
My
So that
cousin makes the best rotis,
oh yeah.
doubles. Oh my god, I can't.
Wow. All right. So yeah, so obviously it's like, okay, so you're getting your grub on.
Mhm.
How does it affect with the fashion? Does it not affect it, or does it, or is like when I say that, like certain things you eat make you break out more? How does it affect your body, your diet?
Um, I think it'll affect me more mentally. Like I'm the type of person where I wish I was on a diet, but I just can't do it. And no matter
Right,
what I do, I still look beautiful. So it
right,
just all comes down to mentally, just being comfortable in your own skin.
right.
And I eat what I want. It's probably not the
Ain't
best
nothing wrong with
thing,
that. I
but
mean, hey,
keto is great.
right,
Keto's definitely amazing, but yeah, eat what you want, but definitely focus on like the portions and just doing things in a moderation for me.
see, that's the thing right there, and that needs to be said because sometimes people they're starving themselves, they're going through all these changes, and they're still upset at everybody. The best thing, focus on you, eat what you want, be as healthy as you can. You're a brand ambassador, right? So you represent beauty, you represent fleek, you represent being on point.
Right.
So tell me, it's kind of like always having to be ready. So was like
Right.
this just a natural born gift, or was it like sometimes people get older, then they find their niche, like oh boom, what didn't work for me before, I learned how to work it now. What was your story like?
I mean, of course, this isn't natural. I mean, the lashes and the wig, that's
Right,
all fake, but just again, like it's just a part of, like when you put it on, you just feel kind of like a new person. Like, wait a
right,
minute. Okay, that's who I am. Oh, okay.
right,
Like for me, it's kind of like a mask, like in a way, just makes you feel
right.
better.
Right. So there's nothing wrong with it. There's
There's
nothing
nothing,
wrong with either or. Some people don't like to wear it. Some people like it. Like you said, whatever makes you happy.
whatever
But the
floats your
key,
boat,
right,
you
right.
know?
So the key thing is when you put it on, you said it's like, okay, it gives you that, all right,
Little,
that
little,
extra kind of flair.
like, oh.
Right. Right. Like turn me up a little bit. Oh,
Right,
now you
right.
can hear me. Now, okay. So when you're out, you're a business owner, you're in the fashion. Do women walk up to you and they say, "Hey, Do they ask for tips or do? Because I'm pretty sure people see if you're like this all the time. Pretty sure people like, yo, she's always Edge is always late. She's always flaky. Hey, what do you do? Do people come up and ask you that, or because you're kind of like your own walking billboard? So tell me what that experience is like.
So people usually come up to me and be like, "Who does your hair?" And I say, "Well, I do. Here's my business card." Like who does
Right.
your hair? What kind of styles do you like to do? And I kind
Right.
of again like to build that relationship and learn about just the person that I met, just so I can take that in and see what I can do to best, help them. Like
Wow.
what do you like?
Right.
I really don't like to talk about myself when in those conversations
Wow.
because it's really about in the lace room. It's all about the client. It's all about the lace babe. It's
Right.
all about you and what you like.
Wow. Okay. So now they see you and they say, okay, now they find out about the lace room. From there, what's that process been like? Do they say, well, girl, I've been struggling with this, da, da, da. What is that like now? Once they find out, they come up to you and say, hey, who does your hair? I do. Matter of fact, take my card. What's their next response? Like, hey, listen, I've been cutting my hair, but for some reason it keeps coming out crooked. What do you think I should do? What are some of the conversations that people have when you tell them?
So usually they ask, well, how long have you been doing this? Like what do you do to get, your lace to stay on for so
Right.
long? Like they just ask those questions and it's like, I got you, girl. I can help you out. It's basically just kind of like they tell me about, the things they went through and with their old wigs or just like how their wigs didn't really hold up to their standard and
Right.
things like that. And the conversation, I just basically try to, work with them, figure out what needs to go down and how I can, help you.
Yeah, that's powerful right there. So it's different ways that you can wear lace fronts, correct?
Yes.
What are some of the ways? What's some of the trending ways? And what's some of the don'ts to not do?
So they have closure wigs. You have your regular like 5x5 closure wigs or your 13x6 lace front wigs. They also have 360 wigs where you can put it up, put your hair up in the back. Or you can like sew your hair down in the back as well if you have a regular like frontal wig.
Right.
Outdated styles are having like frontal installs, closure installs, but now people are transitioning into some more like easier style.
Right.
Don't. Don't. I definitely say, oh my gosh, what don't you do? That's definitely.
Give them the real answer. Don't be politically correct because a lot of people. Come on, I got one that I'm going to ask next, but a lot of people they shouldn't have done that, and they're trying their best. I get it. A lot of times people are learning on their own. They just don't know. But what are some of the don'ts? Come on, I'm a guy, so I know that I shouldn't know the don'ts. But
I'm glad you do. I'm glad we meet somewhere in the middle. But
right.
What you don't do, sis, please don't overplug because when you do, the hair doesn't grow back.
Right.
Don't overplug. Don't rush your process at all. And please wear a scarf every single night. I don't care how late it is. If you just got back from the club, put that scarf on. That's something you just don't want to do is sleep with, with your hair exposed because that can just really, oh my God, impact the amount of time you can have it on. That definitely, when you're removing the unit, you don't want to rip the unit off your scalp. What you want to do is use a nice remover that will come with your glue. If it don't, mine does. To remove that adhesive from your edges so you can still protect your hair underneath and not ripping your hair out, and just be delicate. It's like a baby. You want to be delicate. Treat it like, normal hair so you can get that result of, that natural result.
All right, and that's the key word right there. Be delicate. It's a baby. Sometimes, like I said, I did a little cosmetology, and we would be in there experimenting. And some of these girls get very impatient. I want it out now. And they rip they've ripped pieces out of their hair. And like you said, now it's damaged.
Right.
And it may take a long time, or I can't get it, and they just get to cutting. And it's like you You can't just take a scissor to everything anywhere. It's like, you can go in there in certain parts and they can cover, you can conceal it. But then in certain places where it's like, nah, you out there now. Is that
Right?
you out?
Can't go back.
You can't go back. So it's like, okay, so take your time,
Mhm.
be delicate. Okay, so now as a guy, question. You're the specialist.
Yeah.
When a man looks at a woman's unit, should he be able to see the lace?
No, he should
Right.
not. And that's why I love baby hair so much because it makes so much it just makes a huge difference. And there's a lot of styles where you don't need the baby hair and you can really pull it off. But if you're like wearing your hair up in a ponytail, you want to have that baby hair so it's your lace is undetectable. And also the art of bleaching your knots and the art of plucking really can help
Right.
hide that lace. You
Wow.
don't want him to notice that at all.
Right. See, I'm glad I get to ask somebody because a lot of times me and the guys we sit around and we don't know, we just men. But it's like we look at women, so we know women and we see different things. And these are some of the conversations. So I've been telling the guys, like, yo, Friday, the specialist is coming in. So we gonna get to the bottom of it. I'm gonna ask all the questions because first of all, you don't wanna have a conversation with women about women hair. You just don't. You just don't want to
Yeah,
do that,
we
especially if
don't.
it's 3 or 4, and then you're a guy and you come in with your opinion. You don't want to do that. So I took the liberty and said I'm going to get some of the questions, and I'm going to ask on the show.
Right.
So okay, speaking of the plucking and stuff like that, one of the conversations that came up,
Mhm.
somebody said, "Man, it's like the lace fronts are too lacy."
It's like National Grid in the front right here.
Right. So, okay, what is that about? Like, is that not being installed properly? Is it like they just put it on? Because sometimes it may be even a different color, and it's like, and they just rock with it, and it's like, they good, and it's like it kind of gets shiny now that they sweating, it rolls up.
Oh my gosh, it lifts.
Right. What is going on? And we call that the lacy. The lace
The
front is
lacy
too
when the lace
lacy,
lifts. That's
right?
the lacy.
Or too much of it showing, like. Well, I heard you supposed to cut some of it.
Right.
This is for those that don't cut anything.
Oh my gosh. So listen, if you don't cut anything, you're gonna start today
Right.
because the importance of cutting your lace is so that it can fit your head. It can fit your head perfectly. Like when you put a wig on, it's either too big or too stretchy in your ear areas. So
Right.
the importance of cutting that lace and knowing how much lace to cut, so you're not like cutting your baby hairs at the same time, and being careful around like your ear areas can really help that lace like stay on your head and be undetectable. But as far as like the lifting, put on a scarf. Just put on a scarf.
Put on a scarf.
Put on a scarf and do your best to construct your baby hair so that it looks as natural as possible. Now everyone's not perfect.
Right.
It took me a good year to
Right.
learn how to affect do baby hairs in a way that was perfect for me, in my style, and worked out for me. So definitely practice makes perfect when it comes to cutting, making things invisible. Definitely practice.
Right. So you said a key thing. It took a year of practice. So I get it. You watching the tutorials, and when I see your pictures, I see your units. It looks professional. When I say professional, it looks like a natural look. It's like a natural look. You get what I'm saying? It's like now, as far as the text to certain things, is like okay, but everything looks where it's supposed to be. What we're talking about sometimes in the wig is kind of like so as men, and we see it kind of like it's kind of like cocked a little,
Right.
where the front is in the back, and it's like it's the wrong way. It's kind of like I don't know. You might have had a long day and just running late. I don't know. So the question was, now you have a significant other or you're dealing with somebody and you're out. Is it embarrassing to say, hey, babe, your wig is crooked?
Please do. Please tell me no. Please keep it above, keep it 100. You're not my man if you're not telling me that my hair, if my hair needs to be fixed or not. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? Like, please keep it real with me. If my lace is shifted, if it's lifting, let me know so I'm not like embarrassed.
right,
So but you have to be nice about it. Don't be like, oh, babe, fix that. No, be like, wait, come to step to the side for a second. Wait, fix that. Let me see. Let me
right,
take a picture. Oh, okay. I got you.
right.
Bathroom. Like
Okay.
it's a good way to do it. But I appreciate it though. Please let me know.
All right. See the consensus. See, that's why I'm glad I asked, because the consensus that we came up with is like how y'all like to take pictures. Say, babe, take a picture, and you show her the camera. And if she don't see nothing wrong with it, you leave her. And I said, nah, bro, you can't leave her out there. They said, but if I show her and she checks it, snaps the picture, and she keeps rolling with it, leave her out there. I said, nah, fellas, we can't do that. You got to tell them.
I
So
mean,
you said we should tell them in a nice way, pull them to the side, not in front of anybody.
right.
Say, baby, come on. All right, let me look at you. There you go. And she'll know what that means. There you go. All
Right.
right, between us, tighten up. You might want to hit the bathroom right quick.
Right. I love you, but let's
Take a
put
tip.
it.
All right,
We a collective, so
right. So, okay. So now I see the older women. They may not have the lace front, but they have the one. How do you style those? But they just not out there. Where it's like, I'm not picking on anybody. We don't do that on this platform. I'm
Right.
just saying this is things we see. We all have seen
Exactly.
this.
It's the movement for me because it's true. It's like a hat. Like it's so
Right.
true. You put on
It's
a
like a
clothes a
helmet.
week like this. Like I
Right.
kid you not.
Right. So when you do that, when they do that, for the older women, because this might be something to tune in, to help them get their flicky on, how do they style the ones they pull on? And it's like the same thing. It's kind of like they're playing football a little bit. They put the helmet on.
Right, right.
We don't want to do that. In
Right.
2021, we got the lace room. For one, call, get a consultation.
Right.
We can get you right. But if you're watching the video and you suffer from
If you suffer from helmet,
right,
then
right, right,
then let me tell you something. I think it's great to invest in a wig head so you can style your unit on your wig head first. And then when you put it on, it'll just look exactly the same. It's just so much, when you're doing it's different from doing hair on yourself than doing it on another person. So get in the wig head to see the styles you like, know how your curls or your wig should form around the face, and then applying that to your own head is I think it's just so much easier
right.
just to
And
do it on the wig head first.
that definitely makes sense. And when we used to have to do like quick weaves and stuff in school, that's what we used, the mannequin head with the stocking cap. And then the same thing. But even with those, with the stocking cap, you still got to go in and cut it up, don't you?
Right.
Still
Because
got to
yeah,
shape it. Okay.
absolutely. Yep.
All right. So you shape it, get you a mannequin head, women. Put it on there, style it up. All right. So now it's a new trend out now. They're getting it, laying it down, right?
Hmm.
One of my friends said it's a thing going on, and I'm not sure. I haven't seen it. He said it's like finger waves into. Is that a thing?
You mean as far as like a wig that's already like constructed in out form, or
They sound like around the perimeter. It's like finger waves, and then it goes into the unit.
Hmm. I've never seen that. I bet it's pretty. But the picture in my head is it's not It doesn't matter. It doesn't correlate. But
Okay.
I bet it's pretty. Like the way you can construct your baby hairs is you can do all types of swoops and swirls and
Right.
waves that can transcend into a style. So I'm pretty sure it looks bomb.
Right. Okay. Because
So
I know a lot of people are doing it different ways. So we were wondering, like, yo, is it a set standard or does anything go? Is your baby hairs? Do what you want to, or come on now, you knew that one, right?
so
How?
listen,
Come on, let's keep it real.
with the baby hairs, you want to train your baby hair so that they can lay down the way that you want to. And
Right.
basically by that you take like a little flat iron and curl them, or yeah, or a hot comb and curl them and press them so that they lay exactly how you want to. And
Wow.
that's my first step in achieving any baby hair look. But it just really depends on the look. Like if you have a curly style, maybe you can do better with like a curly baby hair, you know?
Right.
Or if your hair is straight, sometimes you don't need baby hairs. So it really depends on the style. And I love them because it can like really accentuate your face. You can just go from
Yeah.
like basic to bomb in like 5 minutes.
And that's one of the things that I remember from class. It's like each person is different. So it's like it's not one unit going to be, one size fit for all. And that's a lot of times with the less expensive wigs. They're one size fits all.
Right.
So it's but when you go to customizing, it's made just for you. So it's like when you do that, when you go to customizing, it's
Mhm.
like a consultation. Let me see your face. Let me see. Okay, you're diamond
I
shape.
need your head size, the measurement
Right.
of your head.
So when you do that, so okay, when you say they can invest starting about $250, $300,
Right.
that will last them for 2 years versus getting the less expensive ones. But then you have to replace them 6 weeks,
Because they
maybe a week
shed
later.
or the ends get split or it loses its fluidity, luster, and oh my gosh, just with the amount of heat damage, a
Right.
lot of cheap wigs just don't last long at all.
They
So
don't.
it's really important to invest wisely, because money adds up. It
Right.
adds up, and when it comes to wigs, you really just want to get the best wig that you can. You
Right.
want human hair, you want virgin hair, you want hair that lasts you long, and you want hair that you can do multiple things to. Like this is a wet and curly wig, but I curled it. I put heat on it, and that's the
Right.
things I love about my wigs. Whether it's a body wave, a deep wave, kinky curly, it can be pressed, straightened, and it will always revert back to its original style and
Okay. So
maintain its.
that's what I was going to ask you. Okay. So when you talk, you just said it. It reverts back. So now they curl it, they wand it, however they do it. To get it to revert back, is that just wet it, or how do you get it to revert back?
Spray bottle and water. You
Spray
can use it
bottom water.
for my units. I just use a spray bottle and water, wide tooth comb, just like in the tutorial beforehand,
Right.
starting from the bottom to the root, just making sure everything's detangled and just being combed in the same direction so the texture can just match back up. But just
Wow.
spray bottle water. I'd like to add probably like a couple drops of conditioner too,
Right.
just to maintain its give it some moisture. But yeah,
Okay. So yo, like I said, you definitely know what you're talking about. You definitely know. So when they're ordering their units, they send you their measurements.
right. Yep.
Okay. And then it's so for the two, you said how much they start at?
250.
$250. And then they give you up to 2 years.
Right.
Sounds like a great
Plus
investment.
years.
Plus years.
Mhm.
Sounds like a great investment to me. And then they can also, I might want a light one. I want a curly one. I might want a burgundy. Or I think they call it like wine color.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So it's like you can also, so
Right.
you don't have to wear the same one all the time and wear that one out.
Exactly.
How often do you have to maintenance as far as shampooing it, conditioning the unit?
So when you're wearing like a wet and curly unit, try not to use a lot of products so you don't have to like wash it, like overly wash it. But when you do wash it, you want to use a nice deep conditioner like silicone mix to bring that silicone and the moisture back into your hair. But as far as washing, I say like 2 weeks. 2 weeks
Wow.
would be best. And with this unit, I actually could keep the unit on while I wash it. Yes.
Wow.
So with the ghost glue and everything, I just put a
Right.
scarf on my head, and you just tilt your head back and wash your wig, but definitely every 2 weeks.
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
waterproof.
exactly.
So, okay, when we say waterproof, we're talking hair talk now. It's waterproof. But does that mean you're gonna dip your head in the water? Or that means all right, you splash that water on my hair, the trip is over. When we say waterproof.
I mean, I go to Miami, Daytona all the time with this glue
Right.
on. I'm in the pool. I'm in and out the pool, in and out the shower. Actually, I don't really wear a shower cap all the time, so my
Right.
hair gets wet literally all the
So
time. But
right.
yeah, you can definitely put your hair underneath the water. But I would wait 24 hours for the glue to cure, and it does say that in the directions as well. You just want it
Okay.
to cure and settle.
All right. So fellas. All right. How much is the glue?
The glue is 18.99.
So about $20 with tax or whatever. Fellas, your girl can now get in the water. Nah, they some women ain't gonna have it. They ain't gonna go for it. But what is it with black women? I just got my hair done. Don't bring that water around me. What is that?
She just got her hair done. You know, the hair, the thing I love about black hair is that it reverts to its beautiful curly state. So it's that one drop of moisture, it's a wrap.
I've heard stories. I used to drive a cab, so a lot of times guys might be getting thrown out. So hey man, I don't know where I'm gonna go. They talking in the cab. So hey, a lot of times, majority of the time of guys getting kicked out was about messing up the hair.
Mm.
So that's like a deal breaker. Is that a deal breaker? Like you don't mess up the hair.
Yeah, you don't mess, you don't touch the baby. You don't, and that's like I said beforehand. It's just, yeah,
Y'all in love.
awful.
He comes around the corner. He's got a water gun. What
I
happened?
mean, like, just tell me, be like, hey, you want to put on a shower cap real quick? Why? Just put it on, okay? Just like you just warn me beforehand. Like, just do something, just so I don't have to get all soaking wet. But like, as far as the glue goes, that's fine. But
Right.
definitely warn me.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the hair.
All right.
Please,
It's
not mess
yo,
with the hair.
the glue works. Yo, definitely, ladies, tap into the glue, fellas. That might be a good gift for your girl on her birthday. But the reason I said that, right? Because in the tutorial, every woman, when they're doing their hair, uses a water bottle, and y'all just missed the way. No problem. Johnny comes around the corner, spray is a problem.
Well, when we do it, it's for a purpose, and we do it in like the sections that we need it to be done. But if Johnny happens to catch me lacking with the spray bottle, he's getting sprayed too. And
Wow.
it's just gonna be like, okay,
Right.
okay, it's a
Right.
done deal now. We're gonna have fun.
Nah, I'm joking and laughing. I like to bring jokes out of people. I like the people have a good time.
Right?
But that is a thing. Women in their hair. So with the glue, it works. So it wouldn't protect the style unless it was the wet and wavy. Now, if she has a different style and it gets wet, it might be a problem.
Like if your hair is like straight. If it's
Right.
straight, then it'll just be straight and wet. But if you have like a loose wave, even a body wave, it'll still look pretty after it gets wet.
Okay, so that'll work. So it can get wet, fellas. It gets wet. $250 plus about $20 for the glue.
Right?
Comes with the remover. Come on. Get
That
with it.
sounds
Yeah.
like the perfect bundle for me. Like, hey,
Sounds
just
like
have
the
that
perfect
before
pack. Sounds like a party weekend. Or yo, we going on a trip. They be talking about vacations all the time. I got you loaded. Just hand it to her like a football. What's that? Oh, the pack. You get the bundles. We about to have some fun. Yo, it's dope. I'm saying that I'm joking, but it was the creativity and the genius because it's all designed and created by you.
Yes.
So it's like a one-stop shop. You got the remover, you got the hair. Plus, it helps me remember when I'm doing it. You notice I repeat because I want to make sure I tap into everything. And then
Absolutely.
you have the plucker, with the press.
Twin tweezers.
Twin tweezers.
My other best friend.
Right. And that's for eyelashes.
Yep,
Eyebrow.
lashes, brows, peach fuzz, or yeah, anything you would normally use a tweezer for. But also, if you're starting off, in the starting off as a hairpreneur, you
Right.
can use this as a guide when you're plucking your wigs or like making your units, or if like you don't, or like you don't want to like pay someone to customize and want to learn on your own.
Wow.
This is the best tool. This is something I wish I had a couple of years ago.
Wow.
And it saves a lot of time.
I can definitely imagine that. Yo, I remember when I was in school, we had a male instructor. He made most of his money. He was a cutter. He was like a master cutter. But we always ask like, yo, you cut good hair. He done did celebrities and stuff like that. But we always ask him like, why you ain't in the shop? Why are you teaching? And he was telling us for those that's like making units. I didn't know it was a thing, but he said what he particularly did was for like people who may have cancer or going through chemo and stuff like that. He would make the units for them.
That's sweet.
And it was a big thing. And it not only did they have the hair, it made them feel good because a lot of times when they lose their hair, people become insecure, people become depressed. So with the unit, this was probably, I want to say about 8 years ago. So he was telling me this then. This is a new thing. It's the units and the measurements but at the time, everybody back then it was infusion, sew-ins and sew-ins like that, and then the infusion in the reverse. So a lot of people wasn't wearing the lace front. So in the industry, things shift and switch all the time. How do you stay current with the latest technology? How do you stay ahead of the curve with the way the industry grows?
So the way I stay ahead of the curve is, I like to always look for like the latest trend, whether it's a colorway or just different events and things that'll be going on in the remainder of the year. And I'm just thinking to myself, well, how can you achieve that look? Like, what's the most cheapest, most efficient, and just fastest way to achieve that look or that style? So one
Yeah.
of the ways, definitely just looking at new styles and things like that. I also don't like to give up on my sew-ins though. I know
Right.
a lot of ladies who love their sew-ins, so that's going to be coming back due to COVID. The demand of frontals, not so much closures, but the demand of frontals are decreasing
Wow.
definitely due to COVID and all of the things going on overseas.
Right.
So just going back to my roots, sometimes you have to go back to your roots and look back in the day, like, what did they do back in the day that I can recreate,
Right.
elevate and change the paradigm of the hair roll.
Right. Because being a stylist, you get inspiration from everything. It's like nature, from sports, from colors, from buildings to anything. I learned that that's one of the first things you do before you even touch a piece of hair. You got to learn the art of cosmetology, the study of hair. What is it? What is it? Psychology?
Yeah, psychology.
No, no, no. About the hair. It's for hair.
Oh, the physiology.
I think it is physiology. It's the study of hair.
Oh, hair. I would call it hair. Oh, cosmetology, hairology. I come up with my own terms. Guys.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, whatever it is the study of hair. So it teaches you about the care, the damage, and protecting hair, the different parts of the hair, the molecule, the part that's in your scalp, what we call the scalp, is actually called something different. All types of stuff. They say get it from the roots, whereas like the roots really is the top. The higher up is the top. Is the opposite of the real
Exactly.
root. Right.
And your roots are also the most healthiest part of your hair. And
Right.
like if you notice that you bleach your hair, your roots will be like the first thing to turn, to
Right.
transition and process quickly. So
Right.
your roots are the baby. It's literally the baby of your hair. So when you do your scalp massages with liquid gold, definitely make sure to take proper care of your roots. Show them some
Right.
love.
You got to. You got to show them some love. So let me ask you, with the units, when coloring and stuff like that is different than human. So how do you? It's still human hair. When I say that, you don't have body heat.
Right.
So do you have to worry about they call it the hot spots, like on the bottom, the tips? Like they may get lighter faster, the bottom, or is it different when you're working with units?
With units, they have like many different methods where you can actually bleach or process the entire unit at one time, so you don't really have to worry about
Wow.
the processing times. But thankfully we're in 2020 and I already have units that are blonde, so we don't have to worry
Already.
about
So you ain't even
that.
have to lift nothing no more.
We don't have to lift anymore. It's already lifted for you.
Wow. So okay. So what type of colors have you messed with? What type of colors have you experimented with so far?
Recently I did like a very pretty like white cherry, red Coca-Cola. I know it sounds weird, but check on my page. It's gonna be amazing.
Wow.
I've done something like that. I've done like a pink ombre type of color. I've done like a lavender, platinum, silver, hand dyed
Wow.
colors, blue, a beautiful blueberry blues. I've dipped in the reds, and summer's coming up, so if you guys please send me the styles, the inspirations. I need the orange, the
Right. That's
purples.
that's the thing that is like everybody can't wear them, but when I was in school, that was my thing. Like I love like the Easter colors, highlight like the highlighter, like the markers.
Hmm.
I love the hot pinks, the hot yellow, the
Yeah.
hot green. Actually, the first color I did was pink from red, and then I lifted the red to get it pink because
Mm.
I didn't know how to do it the other way. So I did
I
red and
love
just
that.
backed it back down. So I got pink. But okay, so now you're doing the colors, you're doing the units. Let me ask you, what's your personal favorite?
My personal favorite. Ooh, I'd have to say this cherry cola wig that I just did. It's like a whole new take on ombre itself.
Wow.
It looks I think it looks just so freaking dope. So
Right.
far it's my favorite. Like it's like a reverse ombre, but not necessarily. So it's something I've never done before.
Right.
Something that I've actually taught myself, and I was actually successful in doing it. So the
Wow.
style that you're going to see next on my page, get ready for it. That's my favorite
All right.
style.
Okay. So is it you or you did it for somebody else or you did it for you?
I did it for someone else. So when it comes to like doing custom wigs, either I'll use like my own inspiration and put that out if anyone would like that.
Right.
And then I also have clients that come in and give me ideas on what they would like. So I do
That's
personalized wigs as well.
that's dope right there. And I'm not gonna hold you too long. I know we've been talking for a while. If you had a personal favorite unit on yourself, what style do you like?
um, I like this one. I
Right.
like the bob that I wore in Atlanta. That was very nice. I like the bob, but it has to be like just a curly unit that's just super fluffy, soft curls, and accentuates my round face. Anything curly that's shoulder length,
Okay, shoulder
definitely.
length.
But
So do you like the big
just
hair, mid length, or do you like the big wild? You know, how some people like big.
right. So when it comes to short shoulder length, I would do more of like a kinky curl, something that would look more natural to my normal hair texture. But
Right.
when it comes to longer lengths, I love the deep wave, like the water wavy, things I can get wet, just wet and wavy styles. But big curls, I'm a big girl, so big curls work with
All right, so
me.
ain't nothing wrong with that, yeah. So we got the music, we got everything. I think we touched on everything. Is there anything that you do that we might have left out that the people may need to know?
Let's see. There are things that I will be doing that you will learn soon.
Right. Let's talk about it real quick.
So yes, the Paul Mitchell, that's gonna be something I'm gonna be doing, and I'm gonna be taking even more clients, adding more services onto the lace room. That will
Right.
be super, super beneficial. Again, weddings, birthdays, video, photo shoots, even if you're in court, a lawyer in court, like I would be in a few years,
Wow.
different things that'll help different people and different avenues of artistry. That's what you can look forward to.
Right. So that's dope right there. Now that you say that, you're gonna be a lawyer down the road. So you're gonna be it's I've never heard one. A singing lawyer that does voiceovers and owns a hair. How would you tie that together? And then how do you think people will accept that?
You know, when it comes to law, the only person who has to really accept it is the judge. And I know I can win the
Ooh.
judge. I know I can win his or her heart. So
Right,
to me, that's the main priority, is making sure that judge is on my side when it comes to the law. And
right,
of course, I'm gonna look nice, nice
right,
in the
right.
courtroom. But outside that, yeah, of course, holla at me for a
Wow.
style
Wow. And
when I
that's
get
the
out
thing.
of
That's a
my
different type of clientele. That's a good clientele
right
right
when I'm out of my work attire. You
there.
know
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying? But definitely separating that entity, because the lace room is its own body, its
Yes.
own. This is my baby. It's its own entity. But yeah, the judge's
Well,
heart is definitely what I want to win.
yeah, that makes sense right there. So again, did we talk about what made you first want to get into law? We know we talked about the school, things in the system. Which side are you talking about when we talk about a law room? What side of the room are
Defend.
you on?
I'm defending.
You
And
defend.
I get a my laptop's dying. I get a lot of questions, like, what if you're put in like a situation that makes you feel so emotional to the point where you don't want to defend this person. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? To me, when it comes to law, you got to take the emotion out of it, unless it's the client's emotion. But for yourself, you're working on a case, you're trying to get your client through even if your client can't walk out that courthouse free-handed. What you want to do is just limit your client's time, and what can get that person the smallest sentence. But
right.
definitely just taking that emotion out of the defense side
Nah,
will help me.
that's real right there, separating the two. So let me ask you, do you watch a lot of law movies?
Crazy, because I can't get into them because they're not like real enough for me.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
Law and Order, I've never watched Law and Order. Um I like a lot of like prison shows, where I get to learn
Right.
more about the person, the character, and how they live, and
Okay.
how they got to that place, and how even being in prison affects them, just mentally, physically. I really like to learn about the client, because when I'm in that space, that's really who I'm really attending to.
Okay. That makes sense right there. It's a series on Netflix, The Brotherhood.
Mm,
It's kind of like that, but it goes left field along the ways. It's a brother and a sister. The sister's the lawyer. The brother's he's in a little bit of trouble. They had stopped speaking for about 10 or 15 years. She comes in to check on him. He's getting treated unfair. The guards are beating him up and things like that. But then he's living in the underworld in prison trying to survive.
mm,
She winds up reconnecting with him, and it kind of spins out of control. Next thing you know, she's looking at 10 years, or they're saying, or you'll never be a lawyer again. You play ball, or you lose your law degree or your license to practice law. She gets compromised once she hooks up with the brother, and now she has to make a choice. Like, do I do my job, sell my brother out, or do I stay loyal to my brother? So it's kind of it's I'll leave it there. It's
mhm.
kind of one of those, and then you into probably like episode 3, and it builds off from there. And she
Then
has
you're
to
on
make her
episode
own.
30, and you're like, where did time go?
Right, right, right,
Sounds
right.
interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then it was another one with Michael B. Jordan that just came out where he's defending a guy, but he's a younger guy. The man is about 50. I inbox you the info on that one. It's a pretty good law movie. And it's pretty much about him having to go against all odds. Nobody believed the guy was innocent. They had a conversation. He believed the guy. Everything was against him. He stuck with it. The guy wound up being innocent. And he had been wrongfully tried, and he had been in there
Mm.
about 15, 20 years. And he winds up, nobody thought he would beat the case. He winds up taking the case pro bono while he's in school, gets the case overturned. Now, a lot of people, they find out it opens like a can of worms because a lot of the people there were wrongfully sentenced. So a lot of these cases got passed over. But that's another good one. I inboxed that to you. But I definitely appreciate you stopping by. I know you said the charges going down and all that. Is there any last words for the people out there? Any shout outs you want to drop or any information they need to know? From me to you, I support you. I definitely like everything that you got going on. I tip my hat to you because you're doing many things and you're doing it well. You always been supportive. You always been nice and friendly ever since I've known you. So I salute you, yo. I'm excited to have you, yo. We talked about it. We did it. It started with a write up. We got the interview, and eventually, if I'm in Boston, we'll link up. If you ever in North Carolina, we'll vice versa. Maybe even on music. So I know you said you want to work with Boston artists. What about artists out of Boston? No, we can't get signed.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Like it's a collective. Like music is art, and it's a saturated industry, but there's a lot of talent, outside of Boston as well. And come on down, and we can definitely do something.
All right,
Sounds
that'll work
great.
right
Shout out
there.
to you though, because I love this entire, platform, the setup, and basically what you're doing for, these
Yeah,
young, small Black-owned business or these artists who really deserve, the
right.
just the love, the support and just the conversation as well. And you're doing a great thing. So I'm
I,
proud of you too.
yeah, I
This is
appreciate that.
great.
Thank you. I appreciate it, y'all. Like I said, one hand washes the other because I'm nothing without the guests and we're nothing without the fans. So it all plays together and we all trying to support each other. We're all trying to be successful. We're trying to make a better way. And
Mhm.
that's what the platform is about. So I wanted people to see not just artists, I wanted them with business owners, even with you being the first lawyer on the show. You know what I mean? First female that owns multi businesses as far as distribution, the products and stuff like that. Because there's so many of us that have dreams. We don't know where to start, or it's like, yo, they made it, but how do I get it? So when people share their stories, it's like, yo, it wasn't always easy, and this wasn't handed to me. I had to work, put in work, and now I'm seeing the benefit. So for you coming up here, even with the hair and the voiceovers and a lot of women, they want that look. They want that Hollywood look. They want that beauty look. They don't know how. They may not have the resources or they may, don't get it. When I first started, I couldn't comb. So it's like, you got to start somewhere. And a lot of them. So the fact that you would even come up here and drop tips on them, and then I hope that they'll follow you because you do tutorials, you do consultations, and it's a win-win. They can't lose.
Not at all.
So definitely the platform is always open to you. I look forward to when the project is done. Hopefully we can have you back
July.
in July. So let's set it up. Again, I'm gonna toss it back to you. I'm gonna let you sign off and do your shout outs. And after that, we're gonna be out of here because it's been about 2 hours and a half. I
Woo!
held you a little longer than I expected to. But I definitely appreciate you, the conversation. They say funny how time flies when you're having fun.
Right?
I've been enjoying the conversation, and like I said, you're always welcome here. So I'm gonna let you do your last one too, and after that, we're gonna sign off. This is the Proof in the Pudding podcast show. I'm your host, Sion 919, and this is the owner of the Lace Room, the beautiful Niambi.
Yes. So I just want to thank everyone, especially if you're in Boston. I just thank you so much for supporting me through this journey. If you know me personally, it's just been a crazy ride. So shout out to everyone who's been supporting me from day one. Shout out to the new people I'm meeting, the new Lace Babes. I look forward to meeting you. And then just shout out to all of the talent that's in Boston. Royalty Tay, she was a diamond girl. She does
Wow,
fabulous makeup. So if you know Tay, if you're in Boston, you definitely know Tay. She's amazing. Shout out to her. She's just
wow.
a doll. But yeah, I love you guys. I love the support. I love my home. I just love everyone. I'm a Cancer. It's just lover girl over here.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody needs some love, and hopefully you're getting everything you deserve, and all your dreams are coming true. And may the best find you. May your best days be ahead of you, and the love that you give out to others, hopefully, is reciprocated to you times two.
Thank you so much. And likewise as well, Sion. You're doing amazing. Thank you
All
for
right,
having me.
yeah.
This was great.
All right, I appreciate it, yo. So we're gonna sign off. You want to tell the people we up out of here where they can find you at before you go?
Hey, so we gonna head off of here. Find me on Instagram at the Laceroom LLC for your voiceover consultations. Nayam baby, and don't forget Clubhouse. Clubhouse is amazing, guys. So tap in with me on these 3 platforms, and I can't wait to connect with you.
All right, we out of here.